Welcome back for day 2 of the Lucas Oil Western Classic here. This is the 2017 Pro-Am Championship for the Wild West Bass Trail. We are at Cawville Marina here on Lake Mead, hosted by the city of Henderson. It's been a fantastic couple of days. We've still got the conclusion of this tournament. We have some guys fishing for at least another 45 minutes out there, Gary. And then we're going to have top 10 pro and top 10 co-anglers fish tomorrow. My name is Craig Gottwalls. This is Gary Dobbins, for those of you who don't know and aren't bass fishing aficionados. Try and say that 5 times real fast. Gary Dobbins is the Western United States all-time leading money winner. He's won 40 fully rigged bass boats with motors and electronics and all trolling motors and all that stuff, which I think makes him a self-made bass fishing billionaire by my calculations. He's truly a legend. Or as he might say, I'm a big deal, dude. And if you don't believe me, just ask him.
I'm gonna slug you.
I know. I'm surprised I haven't been hit yet. I mean, we're a minute and a half into a show, and I haven't been punched. It's a good start. It's been a really fun day out on Lake Mead. This is, I think, we've done this now for 2 years. We've done the pregame show, Last Cast, presented by Evan Rude. We've done now for a full season. And this, I think, Gary, is the most information we've ever had, the most we've seen in one day out on the water. What do you think?
Yeah, we were pretty strong at Shasta this year, too.
That's right. That's right.
We were pretty strong at Shasta, but we definitely know who's catching what and what they're fishing and all the good stuff.
We definitely stumbled onto them, and we saw a lot of interesting stuff today. And I think to set that up...
I don't think we stumbled. I was driving the boat. I went right to them.
Stumbled onto them, yeah. We went right to them. Those GPS trackers help a lot to stumble on to the right guys. Cell phones and GPS trackers. Oh, they were working, Gary. They were working. To set up the fishing day, we'll get right into it. I think it's a little bit interesting to talk about the weather. We had kind of a weather change again today and how that impacted our fishing.
You know, yesterday we had really heavy rains, lightning, wind, and today we had heavy overcast for the first couple hours in the morning. But other than that, the guys had great conditions. Just a really light breeze, you know, to break some of that water clarity. But it was awesome. I mean, just completely different than yesterday, and I think you're going to see a little bit better bags because of it.
Well, that's interesting. We might have to bet on that. I'm not sure we are going to see better bags. I think we've got some good bags, but I'm not sure they'll be better.
We might not have as many top 13-pound plus bags, but we're going to have better overall bags today, and I will bet that.
Well, we got to figure out a way to bet that. A way to maybe top 10 weights, aggregate top 10 weights. I'm going to say if you just take the top 10 guys and total up their weight, I think it'll be less today than it was yesterday.
Winner gets to slug the loser in the jaw. How about it?
Winner gets $1. How about that? I could turn and slug him as hard as I can, and all I'm going to do is break my hand. It's not going to hurt him. His arm hairs cut me open when they brush against me. The guy's made out of wire and iron. So no, top 10's going to have more weight yesterday. I'm going out on the limb.
No way, buddy. No way.
Right,
I still think slug's a better deal.
It's at least $1 bet. Let's read through that top 10 very quickly here. On the pro side, coming in today in first place with 13.5 pounds was Bill O'Shin. Right on his heels with 13.39 was Randy Pearson in second place. And then there's a 2-pound drop when we get down to third place, which was Nick Salvucci. Fourth place, Austin Bonjour. Fifth place, Jay Wright. Sixth place, Anthony Salazar. Seventh place, Garrett Howard. Eighth, Jason Barofka. Ninth, Sean Minderman. And 10th, Matt Shura. And we did see most of those guys fish for much of the day today. Fortunately, they weren't too far apart, and we were able to get to them. So anything in that top 10 immediately jump out at you to start off with, Gary?
Well, it's a great top 10 for starters, and it's got a lot of different guys there that love different techniques. And actually, I'd like to make a comment on that right now. We found a lot of the anglers, and most of the anglers are fishing the same water depth, the same patterns. I mean, as far as
where the fish are.
As far as where the fish are.
Right.
But they're all throwing different baits, and that's the thing they're fishing for the same fish in the same places, and they're doing something different, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you know, for years, I've only been to Lake Mead twice now, and for years I've heard Gary tell me and every other angler out there that You know, Lake Mead is the most fair place you could ever hold a tournament because you can catch them any which way. You got to keep moving to catch them. You can't sit on a honey hole. People don't group up. And, you know, a lot of that's in one ear and out the other if you're not actually out there living it and seeing it and fishing it. And today, for the first time in my life, really, I saw a tournament where we watched 7 of the top 10 at length, and every one of them's doing something different, some of them dramatically different.
You know, they are, and again, they're fishing for the same fish in the same places. I mean,
right.
It's
they're no more than a mile apart.
Well, a lot of them, yeah, that's true. They're not a mile apart, and actually, they're circling back and fishing the exact identical.
Fishing each other's coves.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
But they're doing it different, and as one guy pulls off, another guy pulls in with a different technique that he's using, and he catches fish right behind the guy that just left.
Yeah, it's truly one of the most interesting tournaments I've seen in that respect, and that includes watching tournaments online from other organizations. I mean, they're in the same area, they're catching the same fish, but they're doing it very differently.
Yeah, and that's what I've always said about Lake Mead. You can come here and fish how you like to fish, so you can fish your strength, and that helps anglers. I mean, if you can fish how you like to fish and fish your strengths, you know, you stand a lot better chance to win, and it's just a lot more fun too. I mean, you get to do what you want to, where you want to.
Well, I hate to jump right to the most exciting, sizzling part first, but let's talk about I think somebody who's brand new to our top 10, and he's leading this event coming into day one. That's Mr. Bill O'Shin. He had 1350 coming into the day. He comes from Auburn, California, and Bill surprised you the most on the water today, Gary, didn't he?
He did, and I don't really want to give up his bait right now.
Right,
but,
we won't do that. But
he did. He's the one that shocked me the most with the bait that he's throwing and how he's catching them. I just don't want to give it up today because he's doing something different than anyone else. But yeah, he shocked me the most by far.
And then a guy coming out of the top 10, also fishing up there with those anglers we were hanging around today, who kind of shocked me a little bit with what he was doing, and that's 13th place, the general, the man who's won 4 consecutive BASS Opens on the Delta in the 90s, and that's Robert Lee, late 90s, early 2000s, I believe. Robert Lee.
Robert is fishing slower and fishing down, and he circled right back. Matt Shura just went through there and caught his limit, you know, and Robert pulls right behind him, and we watched him catch 3 fish in like a minute.
Right.
It's but completely different. I didn't expect Robert to be doing that. I didn't expect him to be fishing down. I figured he'd be running topwater hard and fast. Shocked me. Robert had a spinning rod in his hand. Shocked me.
Right. And I guess what we can say is that to be in the top 10, you did not have to have a spinning rod in your hand, right?
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, very few guys will make the top 10 with a spinning rod this year. It's a lot different. Last year it was really tough. The fish were deep in the grass. They were hard to catch. And the guys drop shot, and then drop shot had dominated the tournament. This time, it's going to be dominated with guys throwing running baits. When I say running baits, it could be a crankbait, it could be a spinner bait, it could be an underspin, it could be a chatterbait. They're all catching fish. There is some drop shotting going on, but it's a very minor technique for this event. Too slow. The guys can really run around and catch them a lot better quality fish and catch them what I consider a lot more fun running down the banks.
And when Gary says running down the banks, I mean, we saw everything from what I would consider sort of traditional light power fishing, where you're running down the bank at maybe a clip of 40% on your trolling motor, and you're making a lot of casts. But then we also saw guys running at 70 to 75% on that trolling motor. I mean, so that we were almost having a hard time keeping up with them on the trolling motor. I mean, they were really moving and catching them too.
Yeah, and those guys are the ones that steal my heart because that's how I like to fish. I mean, I want that on 70% and never take my foot off of it. But however you want to fish right now, you're catching them on Lake Mead. The bite is good. Maybe not as good as what some of the guys want, but the bite is good. I mean, there's plenty of fish getting caught. I mean, most all the guys we watched today had limits. And the coes are doing extremely well as also.
Right, and that actually leads me in. Why don't we go through our co-angler top 10 quickly as well. Coming into the day in, I believe, his first season fishing tournaments. Is that right, Seth Myers?
You know, I think it is Seth. We was on him for a top 10 at Shasta, and I'm almost positive he told me that was the first event he ever fished. He's he's a rookie that's catching the crap out of him.
And he's got a pound and a half lead. He's got a 10-13. Second place is Robert Morris with 875. Third place is the gentleman coming into this event who was leading for the Angler of the Year coming in. And so when you are leading an Angler of the Year and you come in on third place after day one, you're looking pretty good to be the co-Angler of the Year, and that's Roy Des Mangles. Fourth, Chris Rains. Fifth, Joe Cunningham. Sixth, Dustin Robinson. Seventh, Tara Borofka. Eighth, Dustin Knopfsinger. Got two Dustins up there. Look at that. Ninth, Chris Van Cleef. And 10th is Chris Johnson, rounding out our top 10 co-anglers.
You know, there's some good fishermen in that group. They've been in the top 10 numerous times with us this year. Gosh, the race is tight for Angler of the Year. Roy was doing really well yesterday. But the points total, it's only like 6 points separating the top 3 spots.
That's right. Roy's got a 3-point lead on Brandon Smith, 6-point lead on Robert Nicholson. Yeah, I mean, we've got 5 or 6 anglers here within 7 points or so.
But the other cool thing about whoever's going to win on the co-angler side is going to run off with a brand new Ranger boat, Evinrude outboard, Lowrance Electronics. So
that's right. Tell us a little bit about these prize packages for the people that weren't here yesterday, Gary. We've got a pro. We're awarding 4 championships this weekend, right?
We are awarding 4. We've got a winner of this event on both pro and co, and we also have an Angler of the Year title up that will actually end with this event on a pro and co. The pro can win with the right contingencies. He will win an $80,000 Ranger Z520 Evinrude G2 250 with Lowrance Electronics, and the co-angler can win with upgrades of 175. They're going to run an RT188 regardless, but they're going to win with a 115 HO. Great packages. He's going to win $45,000. The pro's going to win a boat worth about $80,000. Great event, plus 100% cash payback on top of it.
Pretty exciting, man.
And it sucks that we got to watch him catch all these fish today, and all we could do is sit there and watch.
We were watching him catch all these fish today. Now, one other, before we leave the weather entirely, Gary, we started off overcast today, and we saw guys really struggling to catch fish early in the day.
You know, they were. The guys are wanting sunshine. You know, I mean, I've been calling about that deeper bite in this foul weather all event, and then nobody's just doing it. Well, we seen an angler doing it this morning, and he was catching good ones, and he was catching them early because he was using running baits, but he was fishing down 10, 15, maybe 18 foot, and he was catching them early. But he was the only guy that was. The rest of the guys were still trying to stay up in that top 5 foot of water, and those fish are really not biting in that heavy cloud cover or rain. So the guys need to be fishing down.
And we can even, I think we can be specific with that. It was Johnny Johnson we saw fishing down, and we had pulled up on maybe 10 or so boats early in the day, and nobody had more than 1 or 2 fish.
I don't know if anybody had 1.
No, I don't think anybody had 2 for sure.
No, for sure. No.
So we had like 10 pro boats in the first few hours with no fish, and some of those guys in our top 10. And then we pull up on Johnny Johnson, and he's got 3 or 4 good ones at the time, pretty good ones.
Yeah, he actually had 3, but he caught another one right away, and then he caught another one not pretty dang quick too.
And he was fishing 2 of the baits that Gary Dobbins has been in my ear about all weekend, saying these guys need to be throwing X and Y, X and Y. And we pulled up on Johnny, and he was throwing X.
He was.
And we'll tell you exactly what those baits are tomorrow because we don't want to spoil anything today.
And his non-boater was doing a pretty fair job right behind him throwing a similar bait, too.
His non-boater's a good learner. He watched Johnny and said, I'm going to do that, right?
Well, Johnny watched his partner yesterday doing it and put him on the bite.
Johnny openly told us that he learned that from his co-angler the day before. But it was overcast, and that was, I would say, about midday. And then the sun came out, and we got word that Johnny was not catching them the way he was, and all of a sudden, all those other guys that wanted the sun started really catching fish.
Yeah, I mean, the mistake that a lot of the anglers have made is just that they're trying to force feed the fish when the conditions are wrong. Haven't helped us if the guys figure that out and put 2 and 2 together, but when the sun come out, those shallow fish started. They started biting. I mean, them fish that are 5 foot and less, they started biting, and the top water really become a factor, as well as you know, all the running baits, anything running was actually we didn't even have to be running bait. Some of the guys were just fishing shallow with down, with spinning rods and stuff, but the bite just was on.
Yeah.
Except for Johnny.
Yeah, it definitely was. But it was on for him early. Guys, we are the Wild West Bass Trail. You're watching Last Cast presented by Evan Rood, and we're going to be right back after a short break.
The future of boating is here. Now, get all the thrilling performance of an Evan Rood E-Tech G2 in the new 150, 175, and 200 horsepower.
Bass fishing's fun, but half of these tournaments is like a boat race, trying to beat everybody down the lake. And with that Evan Rood E-Tech G2, it's like driving a Corvette. That thing is passing everybody.
All the best-in-class torque of the Evan Rood E-Tech G2 is now available from 150 to 300 horsepower.
This is a whole other level. The G2 is awesome.
To learn more, visit evanrood.com.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
Hey, Gary Dobbins here with Wild West Bass Trail, and the lovely lady beside me is Miss Heidi Roth from Yamamoto Baits, and we're going to say a few words with Heidi.
Hey Gary, how are you? It's good to be here.
I'm doing good, Heidi. We're really happy to have you come out for the championship. I know you made it out last year. And guys, Heidi has done a lot for the sport. She does a lot of articles. I mean, she took a lot of great photos of some people we know here.
I think I've been on a couple boat rides with you. We might have broke down a couple times. I'm not sure, but we always had a good time.
We've actually worked together for about 20 years. But Heidi, Yamamoto does a lot more than build baits. They run a great educational website magazine. Would you tell us about it?
Sure, yeah. We have an online publication. It's called The Inside Line. You can find it at insideline.net. And there's just a lot of really great pieces on there of how to use our product. It's not just our product, and it's not just bass fishing, but that's the majority of it. But there's a lot of great writers and a lot of great contributors, a lot of our pro staff that share information on how to fish the product, how to get started in bass fishing.
You know, it's really cool. I mean, we actually do a newsletter through Dobbins Rods every month, and we kind of somewhat patterned it after in the fact that it's about everything. It's not just about our rods. It could be about anything, and that's really cool about the Inside Line is it's not Yamamoto. Right. It's how to fish. It's boats. It could be a little bit about everything. Got some great writers, and they do a really, really great job. Heidi, take a couple seconds to tell us about the latest, new, and greatest baits from Yamamoto.
Well, we are working on a couple new things that I can't tell you specifically about right now, but they look pretty exciting.
Twist her arm, guys.
But we just came out with a couple new baits this last season. One is the Zacco. It's a little swim bait that Brett Height designed for us. And works really great on the back of a chatterbait or a vibrating jig. And then we came out with another little, it's like a salamander type bait. And we're always naming stuff crazy names, and so it's hard to pronounce, funny to look at. It's called a Sanshoo. But those are our two latest products, and we've got two more that we're working on right now too. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, some of you guys' names you come up with, or they kind of twist my tongue around.
We try to keep things interesting over there at Yamamoto Land.
You know, the Cinco is probably, I think without a doubt, it is the single most universal, versatile bait that can be used. You can use it any which way you want. I mean, you can nail rate it, you can Texas rig it, you can weightless weight it, no matter what you do. But the Senko is an unbelievable product for Yamamoto.
It really is. I mean, I would be lying if I didn't say that that's our bread and butter. It's just such a great product, and how Gary thought of it, I don't know. But yeah, it's often imitated, but we're the original. We're pretty
and
proud.
The best.
We're pretty proud of that. We're proud of all of our product. We're proud to be we still consider ourselves a Western manufacturer, which is why we're so happy to be partnered with Wild West, and yeah, we're pretty proud of our little family out there.
Well, that's awesome, Heidi. Heidi, we just lost a member of our family, too. Someone that really launched the Inside Line. Would you take a minute and just talk about our good friend?
We did. For those of you that know, back in the day when things kind of started getting going with Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, Jerry Puckett started the Inside Line, and back then it was a print publication. It was really small newsletter, black and white, but he was integral in getting that going, and as well as our domestic program. He's the one that really helped us get that off the ground. Gary was selling a lot of product in Japan, and Jerry kind of encouraged him. You know, people here in the States wanted it, and so he helped get that program off the ground. And unfortunately, we lost him just a few days ago, and that's always painful. But we just such a phenomenal man. The amount of people that he touched and got their careers going in the fishing industry. It's we talk about legends and stuff, but to us, Jerry really was. Bubba.
Jerry Puckett, he was larger than life. If you met him, you'd remember him. He helped so many anglers, and he did so much for the sport, for Yamamoto baits, but for a lot of individual anglers, and myself was in that group. He'd be really, really missed. He was an awesome man. Heidi, we'd really like to thank you for taking a little bit of time with us.
Thanks for having me out. Yeah, it's great.
Certainly want to thank you for the sponsorship with Yamamoto Baits. So, you know, it's a great marriage. Being West and West is a good deal. We do appreciate everything, and we'll tell Gary you need a raise. How does that work?
Sure, yeah. He'll probably pay me in Senkos or something like that.
Well, I know you can get rid of those.
Right.
Hey, guys, we really appreciate it, Heidi. We'll be right back after this commercial.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
The future of boating is here. Now, get all the thrilling performance of an Evan Rudy Tech G2 in the new 150, 175, and 200 horsepower.
Bass fishing's fun, but half of these tournaments is like a boat race, trying to beat everybody down the lake. And with that Evinrude E-Tech G2, it's like driving a Corvette. That thing is passing everybody.
All the best-in-class torque of the Evinrude E-Tech G2 is now available from 150 to 300 horsepower.
This is a whole nother level. The G2 is awesome.
To learn more, visit evinrude.com.
Welcome back to Last Cast, brought to you by Evinrude. The crowd is swelling, Gary. The crowd is swelling. Gary, a lot of times we talk about the pretty lake, the nice marina, the weather. We got a lot of fishing to talk about on this one. We got a lot to talk about. We got to watch 7 of the top 10 and 2 guys from out of the top 10 that I think we're pretty confident are going to be in that top 10.
I agree. There's gonna be some moving around today. There's no doubt about it. It's Lake Mead. It always happens. Always.
That's right. So knowing the top 10 on the pro side, anything specific you want to talk about starting off? I mean, there's a lot there to chew on.
You know, I think that I just think tomorrow's going to be interesting because I think there's a couple of anglers with the way that they're fishing. Tomorrow we're not supposed to have the clouds and the rain, and so there are going to be more conditions that are going to help some of the guys that really want to catch those shallow topwater fish in the morning and throughout the day.
Yeah, I agree. And as we read through that list again quickly, Bill O'Shin, Randy Pearson, Nick Salvucci, Austin Bonjour, Jay Wright, Anthony Salazar, Garrett Howard, Jason Barofka, Sean Minderman, Matt Sura. I'm going to throw in 2 more names of guys we know had a great day, and that was 13th place Robert Lee and 16th place Ty Au.
I think both those guys are going to slide right up into the top 10. They both got really solid bags, and I tell you what, I think they're going to catch him tomorrow as well. I really do. You know, Robert's been wanting that sun. He hasn't got it. I got a feeling he'll swing hard for the fences tomorrow. He hasn't really been fishing how I've expected him to. You know, slowing down and with the spinning rod in his hand just totally shocks me. But Robert's a guy that can change gears really, really fast.
Yeah, he absolutely can. And we had at least 2, maybe 3 of those guys I just mentioned that are guys that Gary Dobbins liked to watch fish, right? We got Austin Bonjour, Bill O'Shin, and really kind of the way we were watching Ty Au fish at the end of the day there, right?
I like all 3 of those guys. I really do. I think that Bonjour is the guy that might be the most dangerous to the group because he is committed. He's got 3 baits on the deck, and 2 of them are top waters, and the third one's a jig. And you got to have a jig here on Lake Mead. You have to. You hit a little sheer wall or something, you got to toss a jig on it. But other than that, he's living with top water, and I like him.
And he was catching fish too.
He was catching fish. He had a little mishap today that hopefully we get a good camera shot where he swung a really nice one over one side of his boat, and it went right over the top and right out the other side of his boat. And he was still whining about that one when we left him.
Yeah, that one hurt him a little bit, didn't it?
It hurt him. It hurt him a lot, actually. It was a really good fish. So not only did that, it kind of got in his head a little bit too. But you know, he'll recover. He'll come back. But these areas these guys are fishing, they beat them up pretty hard because they are in a pretty small area, and so they may have to do a little bit of changing tomorrow still. They can't keep catching. Lake Mead, you usually have to move around. You can't sit there and catch them in the same areas day after day after day. So it's going to be different tomorrow.
No, and that was a big surprise for me, Gary, because we this lake you can go many miles in a couple different directions here, and the vast majority of our top 12, I'd say, are right in that one little area, and there's nobody really up in the other area, only a couple people.
That's the reason I think the guys fishing, we got a couple of guys in the end of the Overton arm, they could be really, really dangerous because they're not sharing it. They got it all to themselves. We've only got 2 anglers up there. You know, we've got 7, actually an 8th angler we didn't see today. We've got 8 anglers, and I'll tell you right where it is, the end of Colorado and Greg's Basin. And Greg's Basin is known to put out a lot of fish. It always has. It's real fertile. It's real healthy. A lot of bait up there, a lot of stripers too, but a lot of shad. It's a real healthy area, and it's always been known to put a lot of fish out. It just doesn't put out a lot of big ones a lot of times. So I tell you, the guys in the end of Overton really make me nervous.
Yeah, and it's talking about a lot of big ones, and the kind of fish out here on this lake, we're catching largemouth and smallmouth. There's no spotted bass in Lake Mead. As far as the mix of fish on this lake, Gary, is it predominantly a large or a smallmouth lake?
You know, it was predominantly a largemouth fishery forever, and probably, gosh, I'm going to say 7 or 8, 9 years ago, the smallmouth fishing really started getting strong. It was a factor. And now it's a 50-50 fishery. I mean, it's 50-50. You catch a largemouth, smallmouth, I mean, cast for cast right beside one another. It is a 50-50 fishery. You can no longer say I'm going to win on largemouth because there is a lot of big smallies in here as well.
That's right. Another guy that we watched out on the water today, Gary, and you know what he was doing kind of surprised me a little bit because being from Northern California, I hadn't seen much of that. But you said you've seen it before, and that was Matt Shura.
Yeah, Matt is actually he's throwing a little swim bait. I mean, it's not a big deal. He's throwing a little swim bait. And he's throwing a weightless, and he's keeping it on top. He's using the top water bait. I mean, I've seen it done a lot. I've done it a lot, but he's confident. He's catching them, and
he was getting a lot of bites at that. I mean, that was early in the day.
He's getting a lot of bites, but he's getting a lot of small fish too. He's weeding through it. He's not catching the big ones that he needs, though. I feel that Matt's not gonna. I'm thinking Matt's not gonna do as well because fishing that bait the way he is, I just don't think he's gonna get the big bites that he's gonna need to win.
Yeah, and Gary mentioned it earlier. I mean, we saw guys in that area catching fish every single which way. In fact, really every which way. And then at one point, we kind of looked at each other, and I said, well, damn, Gary, the only thing we haven't seen is a crankbait, and I'm pretty sure somebody catch him here on a crankbait. And he goes, oh, yeah, I guarantee a crankbait would work. And then we saw that too, didn't we?
Yeah, and then we have an angler come in and catch a couple of good ones on a crankbait. And,
on camera right in front of us.
On camera. We've got it all, all on camera. And it's whatever you want to fish, you can catch on Lake Mead. I've said it forever. That's why I love this fishery.
Yep. One of the other guys we watched out on the water a little bit was in the back of his boat was Big Bass Manny Navarez. I got to be careful when I say that. And Sean Minderman out of Washington.
Sean is he's the guy that traveled the farthest. He came all the way down here from Washington. He is a very accomplished fisherman. He has won a lot of events, and he is a super stud. He's struggling a little bit, but he went to that buzzbait when it really got bright and warm today, and that bite really was cranking on. So I don't really know. He had 3 fish when we left him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has none of those 3 left in the well, and he's got 5 to replace them.
That's right. Guys, it's a little bit after the 2 o'clock hour here, and I see our first anglers are starting to appear at the Evinrude tanks over here. We'll have anglers fishing right up until 2:30 today. That's right. And we'll be doing that weigh-in here pretty darn quickly, folks. I think what we ought to do, Gary, is revise our predictions. The production staff has allowed me the opportunity to let you know that we're going to get to make – what are the rules today? We get to make 3 picks again, but one has to come from outside of the top 10, and they can be 3 new guys. You don't have to pick the same guys. So you could stick with the guys you picked or not. 2 in the top 10, 1 outside of the top 10. And we always let you go first because, there's a point spread and a handicap for the less fortunate. So we got to let Gary go first.
I think my picks were pretty solid yesterday. I still, Ty is still right there. I still think Ty's going to, he has a good chance. My guy outside of the top 10, that's the guy I picked already, Robert. I'm staying right with Robert.
Good. Oh, wait a minute. No, that kills me. No. You can't do that. Ty and Robert are both out of the top 10.
He was out of the top 10. That's who I picked yesterday.
Yeah, but you only can take 1 out of the top 10 for this one. So you got to pick 2 in the top 10 and either Ty or Robert.
Ty or Robert. Dirtbag.
The rule change clips Mr. Dobbins.
All right. I'll go with Ty still. Sorry, Robert. And I tell you, I like Bonjour. I like the way he's fishing. He's sitting in 4th place.
I knew you'd do that.
He doesn't have the bag today to put him in the winning bag.
Not yet. He had a couple hours to go.
Yeah, that's true. But he's fishing the right way. I like him. I like what he's doing. I'm going to go with him. And I tell you what, I'm going to go with Salvucci. Even though I don't know if he caught a fish today. He might not have a single fish. But he's the guy sitting in the Overton Arm without a whole lot of competition. So he's sitting where the big ones live. And he's by himself.
Well, that's good for me because that means I get to keep my pick for Angler of the Year and for this event, and that's Randy Pearson. So, and we don't know how Randy did today, actually. We do know that he did have 3 keepers early in the day, 3 small keepers, but that was long ago. He could have greatly upgraded by then.
And I'm sure he did.
So Randy was second, so he's in the top 10. I'm going to jump out of the top 10 now to grab the one out of the top 10 that you didn't get, and that's Robert Lee. I'm switching over and taking Robert because we saw Robert catching them pretty regularly earlier today with his little finesse rig, believe it or not. Robert Lee fishing a finesse rig. And I get one other guy. I'm going to pick from my hometown, Auburn, California, a guy that I loved to see what he was doing out there today because he blew my mind, and that's Bill O'Shin.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against Bill. I mean, he's got a big lead too going
And he's got
in,
a really
so.
cool pattern going.
He's got a cool pattern. He's the only guy on the lake that I know that's throwing that bait, and he's catching them, and he's gonna continue to catch them. And he honestly, I think he's probably going to be the winner of the event. That'd be my guess right now, just straight up. I think he's going to win. He's got 4-pound lead over most of the field, and he's throwing a bait no one else is, and he's catching them.
Oh, Mr. Dobbins is so off on this one, folks. Randy Pearson was only 11/100ths behind Bill O'Shin, and we don't know what Randy did today, so I am so sticking with Randy on this one. He's out of bounds, folks. I'm Craig Gottwalls. He's Gary Dobbins. We're the Wild West Bass Trail. This has been Last Cast brought to you by Evan Rood. We're going to be right back in probably less than 5 minutes to start this weigh-in for you. We'll see you then.
The future of boating is here. Now, get all the thrilling performance of an Evan Rudy Tech G2 in the new 150, 175, and 200 horsepower.
Bass fishing's fun, but half of these tournaments is like a boat race, trying to beat everybody down the lake. And with that Evan Root E-Tech G2, it's like driving a Corvette. That thing is passing everybody.
All the best-in-class torque of the Evan Root E-Tech G2 is now available from 150 to 300 horsepower.
This is a whole nother level. The G2 is awesome.
To learn more, visit evanroot.com.
Bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
The future of boating is here. Now, get all the thrilling performance of an Evan Rudy Tech G2 in the new 150, 175, and 200 horsepower.
Bass fishing's fun, but half of these tournaments is like a boat race, trying to beat everybody down the lake. And with that Evan Root E-Tech G2, it's like driving a Corvette. That thing is passing everybody.
All the best-in-class torque of the Evan Root E-Tech G2 is now available from 150 to 300 horsepower.
This is a whole nother level. The G2 is awesome.
To learn more, visit evanroot.com.
Bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Western Classic. This is the 2017 Pro-Am Championship for the Wild West Bass Trail. I'm Craig Gottwals. Gary Dobbins will be up here with me directing this weigh-in. Let's get right to it. We want to thank some hosts and some sponsors. First and foremost, we want to thank the City of Henderson and the Henderson Fiesta. They've been great hosts for us all week, and they're going to have to be hosts for us one more night and one more day tomorrow. We're also hosted here by Cawville Marina Store, Grill, and Lounge. They've been great to us as well. And we've got some special sponsors that are good to us wherever we go, folks. So I want to get right into those. Lucas Oil, Protect the Harvest, General Tire, Ranger Boats, Evinrude Outboards, Costa, A&M Graphics, Lowrance, Super Clean, Dobbins Rods, P-Line, Gary Yamamoto, Gator Guards, Power Pole, and Ben Green Insurance. This is the second day of our 3-day championship. After today, we pay some people, and then we cut to the top 10. Those top 10 will come back and fish tomorrow, at which time we will crown our champions of this event, and we will crown our Anglers of the Year. Actually, I think we will be able to crown our Angler of the Year on the pro side anyway today at the end of this weigh-in. A little teaser for you, a little taste tease. Without further ado, let's get right into it. I see him over here waiting for us. He's a Dobbins Rod professional out of Boat 3, Mr. David Cole, coming to the scales. David Cole, Dobbins Rod Pro. Coming in with some lively fish to the scales. Also, anglers and anybody else who's interested, Fish and Game will be doing a courtesy boat wash for anybody who wants to in Lot C. Lot C for a courtesy boat wash for any anglers or any other boats out there.
What lot is that?
I don't know. That's a good question. We need somebody to tell us where is Lot C. Let's weigh up David's fish. David's bag of fish is going to go 372, David. Pretty tough tournament for you. I don't think we're going to see you tomorrow, bud.
You're not, and I couldn't anyway. I hit a shoal today, took off half my lower end and my prop, so it'll be an expensive tournament.
That will be. Tough deal. Thank you so much for fishing with us this year, David. Have a safe drive back. Coming up next out of Phoenix, Arizona, Dustin Robinson. Dustin had 757 yesterday on the co-angler side, which was a great day. He was sitting in 6th place coming into the day. And Dustin's going to weigh in another solid co-angler bag for day 2, 548. 548, obviously, that has you leading early in the game, Dustin. Do you think it'll hold up?
I'm just hoping to hopefully get in the top 10. My boater, Jim Elliott, put me on some fish today, so just hard to get him to bite, but I was lucky to get a few of them in the boat.
Thank you so much for fishing with us, and maybe we'll see you tomorrow, Dustin.
Hope so.
Thank you. You want to weigh a big one? Okay. Yeah, you're right. Let's go ahead and weigh a big fish on the co-angler side. That's not a bad idea at all. That big fish is going to go 223, which, if you are correct, I think will be in the top 5 big fish on the co-angler side at this early stage. We do pay 5 big fish to the pros and the co-anglers. We pay those out today. Any fish caught tomorrow don't count for that. Coming up next out of Boat 51, he was a gentleman that had a little bit of a rough start today, but he rebounded strong, and that's Jim Elliott. Jim's going to weigh in 248 today, 248. Jim, Dobbins Rod Pro, thank you so much for fishing with us this year. A little bit tough out there this weekend, huh?
Yes, it was. You guys did a great job, great tournament. Thank you, Gary. Dobbins Rods, Ranger Boats, Lucas, everybody, all those supporters of Wild West do a phenomenal job. You guys do a great job. Appreciate everyone coming out. Since I didn't get to talk yesterday, I'd like to thank some of my people. Sportsman's Express, Shell Station, fabulous people. If you're ever in Reading, they're off of Wonderland Boulevard. Make sure you stop in and see them. Lowrance, got Gary Dobbins, of course, Mercury. This is the hard part, remembering everyone, so I apologize. Les Schwab Tires, Ben Green Insurance, lots of good ones. Monster, of course, thank you very much. Anyway, so I want to thank everyone for support all year. This circuit's been great, and Joe's Wicked Good Jerky. Got to try that. It's really good. They got a lot of good flavors out there. So thank you guys again very much.
Thank you, Jim. We'll see you at Lake Berryessa next month for the team championship. Coming up next, a man that needs no introduction, Robert Lee out of California. Robert Lee, he was in what, 13th, 16th coming into the day, something like that, but he had a good day. 9:30 today, of course, has you well up in our top 10 at the moment. You think that's going to hold up, Robert?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't have any problems catching fish out there. I'm just mixing it up. It's just the, the size, and I didn't really figure the bigger ones out. And I know I didn't practice. They were in the grass pretty good, and then I had some other deeper rock type thing going on, and I didn't. The last 2 days, I did not get one decent bite out of probably 12, 15 keepers a day. So you know what? It is what it is, and if I don't make it, I'll drive home.
Well.
I'd like to thank my wife and kids for letting me come. They have football, gymnastics, cheerleading. It goes on and on and on, and I'm gone. So my wife's running the show, and it's not hard or not easy.
Robert, before you walk away, don't walk away yet. We want to thank you. Robert is a consummate professional. We always enjoy watching you fish. You never fail to surprise us. And for what it's worth, Gary Dobbins is going to give you a rod if you're not in the top 10. That's how confident he is. He said you're going to be in the top 10, so I think you're going to be there.
Hey, I need a new flipping stick.
Perfect. Thanks, Robert. We'll see you in a bit. A Colt. I'll buy him a Colt. Jason Lazarini's coming up next. Jason Lazzarini is out of boat 39, and he's weighing in 778 today. 778. Not a bad day, Jason. Not bad at all. How was the tournament for you?
Yesterday was tough for me, but today I rebounded. I got to fish with Robert Lee, so that was a prize on it.
Did he surprise you out there, what he was doing?
A little bit, yeah. But this ain't the Delta, so got to make adjustments, and he was catching them, and we were around him all day, so that was a good time.
Thank you, Jason. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Okay, coming up next out of Washington, Sean Minderman, professional angler. He was in our top 10 yesterday. He had a little tougher day today, didn't you, Sean? 520 for your bag of fish, 520.
Yeah, I didn't get all the bites today that I got yesterday. It was a lot tougher. I'm happy with what I got. We were making a long run. What a beautiful place, though. Great place to have a tournament. I'd like to thank Ranger Mercury.
Okay, thank you, Sean. We appreciate it. That early in the proceedings, that does have you in second place. Hopefully it holds up. It's going to be tight. Coming up to the scales next out of boat 49, Kent Hudson coming on up. How you doing, Kent?
I could be doing better. So.
It looks like a light bag for you, Kent. It is. So yesterday you had 166. Today you've beaten that. You come in with 248.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a tough day, a tough 2 days for me. I've never been on Lake Mead before, but hey, I want to give heads up to my sponsor, DY, out of Houston, Texas, and Calgary. Chris down there in Houston. Hopefully everything's all well with the flooding and everything. I want to thank Wild West. You guys do a great job. Evan Rude, my ranger, running around like crazy with my ranger. So I'd like to thank all those sponsors. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kent. We appreciate it. We appreciate you fishing with us. Coming up next was our Angler of the Year in Northern California last year. He comes from the Delta in Northern California. Boat number 45. He had 728 yesterday. Jason Cordiali. How you doing, Jason?
Doing good. I just couldn't figure out the reaction. I love power fishing, and I had to drag jigs for this tournament to get bit.
You followed up your 724 with a 768 today, a 768. And, of course, early in the proceedings, that's going to have you right around third place, obviously. That may or may not hold up. And we want to weigh a big fish. Heck yeah, put it in there. Nice smallmouth. That's a nice big smallmouth. Jason's big fish is going to go 314. 314 for that big fish. Nicely done, Jason. Well, we hope to see you tomorrow, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to thank Evan Rude. I changed from Mercury to Evan Rude this year, and it's nice to have confidence I'm going to make it back.
Thank you. Best of luck. Coming up next was the person in second or third place in the co-angler standings coming into this event. Third place in the co-angler standings coming into the event, Robert Nicholson. He weighed 622 yesterday. He's now 1239 behind the leader. And he is coming in with 462. 462. Not going to be enough to take home Angler of the Year, Robert. But we so appreciate you fishing with us this season.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a nice day today. It just I missed some fish and lost some fish, so
that's the way it is.
Yeah, that's fishing.
We're going to see you next season?
Oh, yes.
We look forward to it. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate that. Russ Barger out of Idaho coming to the scales next. Russ Barger out of Idaho. Yesterday was not a typical Russ Barger day with 773. He followed that up with a little bit more today. 851. Russ, that's going to have you in our top 5 very early in the weigh-in.
Yeah, it won't hold, but yeah, I guess I got one.
We got a big one to weigh, says Russ. He doesn't think it's going to hold, but we're going to weigh that fish. Big fish coming in. Ooh, feisty. Nice largemouth, Russ. That largemouth's going to go 308. 308 for Russ Barger's largemouth. Nice fish. Yeah, he is. I'm waiting for that to update for me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russ. Appreciate you driving all the way down from Idaho. Coming up next, Ron Ratliff out of Boat 39. Ron Ratliff. Ron weighed in 352 yesterday. How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing good. You got my name right.
I got your name right today. That's right. Not Rob, but Ron. 265 today, Ron. 265. You're one of the guys. I don't think you've ever missed a Wild West Bass event, have you?
I fished all of them.
Every single one of them, man. You are a road warrior. We appreciate that so much. Right. Is there anybody you want to thank before you slide off this stage?
I thank my beautiful wife. I thank God. I thank Wild West for putting this on. And anyway, you can ask Russ how my netting skills were today.
Good netting skills, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear, Ron. Thank you. Coming up next, a man we watched fish and we watched catch him today. Johnny Johnson out of Arizona from the Fishin' Show, Fishing with Johnny Johnson, A&M Graphics sponsored angler. You had a good day, didn't you, Johnny?
Well, it started out good, but I only ended up with 4 fish.
Well, those 4 fish do 857, which is better than yesterday's 689.
That was a lot better. You know, I lost a 3-pounder first thing this morning, and I knew I was I felt good about it this morning, but boy, as soon as that sun came up, it kind of killed my bite.
Did you switch to top water after that sun came up?
You know, I didn't. I got stubborn, and I actually, because I only had 4 fish, I went fishing chicken, and I
No!
I said this on camera when they were there. I'm like, okay, I got to give myself enough time to get my last drop shot fish if I don't catch this fish. So at about 11.
It was like halfway through the day, he caught all of his fish on a down action bait. Gary was so proud of him, and he said, you know what? I'm going to throw this the rest of the day. You mean you didn't do that?
I did off and on, but to be honest with you, I went to some of my drop shot water to try to get that last fish, and it just didn't pull out.
Well, we talked about it on the show. It'll make for good TV, Johnny. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you at the next one. Coming up next out of Boat 44, Mr. Brandon Smith. Brandon, fishing with us as a co-angler. Where were you coming into the day? It was so high.
I was second.
Second in Angler of the Year coming into this event. You had 576 yesterday, 411 today. That's going to make it tough. That's going to make it tough. You have a good season with us, though?
I had a great season. I want to thank Wild West for putting on a great tournament series. I look forward to fishing all of them. I had two great pros, Justin Kerr and Johnny Johnson, in this event. And I just want to thank my wife and daughter for letting me come out here and fish, spend time away from home.
We absolutely got to thank them. Appreciate it and appreciate you. Thanks a lot. All right, moving on through our way. And remember, free boat wash in Parking Lot C from Fish and Game, folks. Fish and Game wants to make sure your boat is clean and dry before you leave here. So everybody gets a free boat wash if you hit Parking Lot C on the way out. Coming up next, Boat 42, Jamie Clifton. Jamie had a rough day one with only 272.
Caught a limit both days.
You caught it? Well, that's right. You had a better day, too, then. That's right. You doubled it. 272 yesterday. He's going to end up with 527 today. Definitely made a little bit of a rebound, huh, Jamie?
We did. We fished really hard. I was unfortunate my co was not able to get his 5 fish. He was in second going into the day. So I really tried to work hard to get him the fish because I wasn't going to go anywhere. But he got one, so hopefully that'll help him keep him in the check rating, so that'd be good.
We appreciate you fishing with us, Jamie. We'll see you next season. Coming up next, I think is that co-angler he was referencing, right? Mr. Robert Morris. And Robert, if I remember correctly, you were well up our standings coming into the morning too, right?
Yes, I was.
Where were you in the standings?
Second, I believe.
Second place coming in. Had 875 yesterday, a tougher day today, 252, Robert. That's going to make it pretty tough for you to move on. It's not totally hopeless, but did you have a good event with us this weekend?
Yeah, I did. I had fun. I caught some fish, so that was good. A lot of short fish today.
We appreciate you fishing with us, Robert. Thank you so much. Coming up next, out of Boat 41, Mr. Marty Lawrence. And yesterday we learned that Marty Lawrence and Gary Dobbins have cute little pal nicknames for each other that they send over the text message. And I think it's something like Eraserhead or Pencilhead or something like that. I don't remember. Marty had a great day 1 at 9:33, and he had an even better day 2, 10:11 for Marty Lawrence, which is going to move you well up our leaderboard. Marty, if I'm not wrong, you are now leading this event with 1944 on the pro side. 1944 to lead this event early on, Marty. Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it was good fishing today.
You want to share Mr. Dobbins' nickname?
No.
Good. I'm glad you didn't, because I'd get fired if you did at that point. Well, thanks, Marty. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing you later on. Thank you. Okay, coming up next, out of boat number 41, traveling a long way from Southern California, if I remember correctly, Mr. Aaron Say. Southern Cal, is that right?
Yeah, San Diego.
San Diego. Aaron C. My bad. San Diego. 172 yesterday, 5:30 today. A much better day, too. Huh, Aaron?
Yeah, it was a little tougher yesterday, but today was, the fish was biting, and we found them, and I just couldn't get the fifth one.
And Oklahoma's going to win tonight, right?
No.
Good luck to your Buckeyes. Good luck to you. We'll see you next season, Aaron. Coming up next out of boat 50, a gentleman that we did watch fish for part of the day. He had 283 yesterday, Greg Troughton. 282 yesterday. It looks like you might be right around that same, very consistent maybe, huh?
Yeah, Two Fish Greg.
Two Fish Greg. 305 today. Tough weekend, huh, Greg?
No, it's been a great weekend, a great trip. I love the Wild West.
What a great attitude.
I have all the sponsors' products. Everything ran great. My Ranger, Evinrude, my Lowrance, everything just worked perfect.
It was the Dobbins rods that failed you, right?
Dobbins rods. Matter of fact, most of the fish were caught on my Dobbins rods. Got my family here supporting me. What a great experience. I brought a young man, Christian Ostrander, with me. Going to be 19 in a few days.
And a heck of a fisherman. We've watched him before, too.
Yeah, so it's been a great experience, and look forward to doing it again.
Thank you, Greg. We appreciate you fishing with us, and we'll see you next season. Coming up next out of boat 19, Clayton Eastlick coming up to the scales next. Clayton yesterday had 867, a very solid day 1. Looks like you got a pretty good bag again today. Even better, says Mr. Dobbins. He's going to follow up 867 on the pro side with a very good big bag of the day so far, 1174. Clayton, that's going to have you all the way up at the top of our leaderboard when that updates, and it's official. We have a new leader, folks. He has over 20 pounds. Clayton Eastlick. Nicely done, Clayton.
Yeah, it was a good day. Only got 7 bites, but they're all quality, so I can't complain. Called late in the day, and you know what? See what we can do tomorrow. Hopefully I make it in.
I think your odds are pretty good being number 1 at this point. Yeah. We'll see you later.
Right, guys.
Thank you. Coming up next, last year's co-angler champion. He comes down from the great Pacific Northwest every time to fish with us. Mr. Rocky Ward, a Dobbins Rod professional angler. We have to say that, don't we? Yesterday was a tough, atypical day for Rocky. He backs it up with a little bit of a rebound in 313 today. Tough weekend, huh?
Absolutely, it was tough, but I couldn't have more fun being here.
And being the reigning champion coming in.
You know, and that makes it even tougher. You know, to get out here and be able to do what I've been able to do all year again is I couldn't say enough. I was only going to fish 1 year, but it's like the guy with the poker hand that wins. You can't walk away. You got to come back and compete.
Are you going to come back next year?
That's still on the fence, but I think we got a pretty good chance of it.
I think your rod sponsor needs to step up and sweeten the pot for you.
I'll tell you what, I got to say one thing. I throw swim baits, just got into it. I got one of his swim bait rods. I'm going to tell you what, I threw a swim bait 7 ounce all day. I'm 62 years old on Tuesday, and if you can do that with a rod that's that balanced and not be tired and not be wore out, it's unbelievable. But that rod is the best.
That is quite the testament. Thank you so much, Rocky. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you next year. No off the hook for you. Coming to us from San Diego, California, also driving a long way to fish with us every time he does, pro angler Mark Ronzon. How you doing, Mark?
Good.
Yesterday, Mark had 653. Today, Mark's got 738. My mic is clipping. 738 today. Tough tournament this weekend. Looks like you did pretty well.
Man, it wasn't tough for me, actually. All those fish were on one bait yesterday. I had a fish about 3 come off at the net. One jumped about 3 yesterday also. That thing was hooked, but it come off. Those 2 fish, I mean, looking at the weights right now, I mean, I think it was a good tournament for me. It's just I lost those 2 fish. And so, you know, you can't fish unclean at Mead and hope you're going to win. It just doesn't happen like that.
No, but we appreciate you driving a long way to fish with us every time you do, Mark.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you soon. Thank you. Coming up next out of boat 47, he had 673 yesterday, and that is Chris Johnson coming to the scales. He's going to have a little bit less today. 673 yesterday. Follow that up with a 281 today. 281. Did you have a good event with us, Chris?
Oh, it's always fun. I love Lake Mead. It's as tough as it is. It's always fun, and it's I want to thank Gary and Wild West for bringing this kind of event to the West Coast and especially to Lake Mead.
Thank you. We appreciate you fishing with us. We know you got a lot of options, and we appreciate you fishing with us. Our leader coming into today on the pro side, he had 13.50 pounds. He's fishing a way that Mr. Dobbins loves and can't wait to tell you about tomorrow on the pregame show. We didn't spill the beans today. Mr. out of Auburn, California, Mr. Bill O'Shin, weighing in 908 today. He follows up a 1350 with a 908. He's going to move right back to the top of our leaderboard with 2258. You've got a solid 2-pound lead right now, Bill, over the rest of the field. We probably have half of the field left to go. We watched you fish, man. We enjoyed watching you.
Yeah, today was a much tougher day. I only caught 7 keepers. I never culled a fish after I saw you guys. I'm just happy for what I got, and I'm going to be scrambling tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do.
You're one of the few anglers in the field that's kind of rooting for non-sunny skies. Is that right?
Well, at this point, yesterday I was rooting for sunny skies thinking it was going to be better, but now I'm going the opposite way. So I don't know. Whatever it takes, I'll just have to adjust.
Well, you're absolutely going to be fishing tomorrow, so we'll see you then, Bill. Thank you so much. Remember, free boat wash in Parking Lot C from the Fish and Game folks. We've got an angler out of Arizona coming here. He is leading in Angler of the Year points coming into this event. And he is about to sew it up, folks. He had 926 yesterday. He was sitting in 16th place. He follows it up with the biggest bag of the day so far, 1205 for Ty Al. I think we can say it's unofficial, but you are now the Wild West Bass Angler of the Year for 2017, Ty. A little anticlimactic. We're going to weigh a big fish now. Let's weigh the big one, and then we'll talk about Angler of the Year. Big fish going in, nice smallie on the scales. Ty Al's smallmouth's going to go 307 for that fish. 307. Ty, it's not a contract yet. It's not totally official, but you, my friend, are the Angler of the Year this year.
Wow, man, I'm speechless. There's so many anglers that I look up to here. Ken Maul, Johnny Johnson, Matt Shura, so many anglers like that at that caliber that I still look up to. I mean, like 7 years ago, I was sitting in the back of the boat, driving around, just struggling to do these tournaments, and it seems just like yesterday. So, I get a little emotional thinking about that how far I've come in just 7 years. So, just like anything else in life, I just work hard. I really love to fish, and I just love this whole experience. So, thank you, Gary, my sponsors for this year, Heidi over there with Gary Yamamoto, General Tire, Lucas Oil, Lawrence, G-Funk Baits, Costa Sunglasses, Sun Transmission, and it wasn't for you guys supporting me, it would be a lot harder to do this.
Well, it's not totally official yet, so we're going to give you a little more time at the end of the weigh-in to collect your thoughts and go through it when it's official, because we'll have to look at that top 10 to verify. But at this point, I'll give you my boat if you're not Angler of the Year. Thank you, Ty. We'll have you back up here later, buddy. And you are now, by the way, they took away, I think he might be leading on the pro side. I lost that screen. We'll do it next time we get to the pro screen. We'll read that off. He's 7th place overall? Second. Ty is 2nd place on the pro side. Thank you from the production trailer. Coming up next, fishing with Ty. He had a great day as well. He had 763 on the co-side yesterday. Joseph Cunningham weighs in 641 today, which is going to have you well up the co-leaderboard, Joe. In fact, now new leader on the co-side, 1404, and you've got a 1-pound lead on the co-angler side, Joseph. Nicely done. Let's weigh that largemouth. 238 for that fish for Joseph. 238. Great job, Joe. Being in first at this point, you're going to be fishing tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I love fishing the Wild West Bass Trail. It's if you don't have a boat, sign up and fish as a co-angler. It's a great opportunity. And I just want to thank, Dobbins Rods, Wild West Bass Trail, and Ranger Boats. Can't beat it, especially out here on Lake Mead with all these 3-foot waves, smashing you around. So
thank you, Joseph. We'll see you tomorrow. Coming to the scales next, folks. And remember, we're not going to go to the scales next because we've got something even better. We've got Angie Morgan with Clayton Eastlick over in the Dobbins Rod Evinrude Dungeon.
That's right. All right, Clayton, so you made a big jump. You were sitting in 19th yesterday, and right now you're sitting, I believe, in 3rd. So tell me a little bit about your day. How'd you catch him?
On topwater first thing, I got 4 bites early, and then on a jig late in the day, I got 1 big bite. I only got 7 bites all day, but they're all good ones. So.
You like it when the sun shines like this? Better bites?
No, actually, for what I was doing, this definitely the clouds definitely helped, and then I had to make an adjustment, but I think I can make some adjustments with the sun tomorrow. So.
All right, you're gonna hold on. Hope you make the top 10 fishing for Championship Sunday. We're fishing for that Ranger boat.
Yeah, hopefully it looks pretty good right now, so hopefully it holds.
You gonna change your plan, or you gonna stick to what you've been doing?
No, I got a whole bunch of water left, so hopefully I make it. So it should be good tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Clayton. Good luck tomorrow. Back to you, Craig.
Thank you, Angie from the Dobbins Dungeon. It used to be the Costa Corner. Today it's the Dobbins Evinrude Dungeon. I just like that. I like that Gary's got a dungeon with a lot of leather masks and whips and weird furry handcuffs. And anyway, it's kind of crazy. Coming out of boat 38, he is a former champion with the Wild West Bass Trail. His family's here supporting him. He had 831 yesterday. Mr. Laith Moore. Laith's coming in with a solid 7 pounds even today. 7 pounds even. Laith, that where's that put you? That puts you currently in. They just took it away from me. You took it away. No, you're in the top 10. Really? Where's Laith, guys? I think you were 7th, but they flipped that screen on me and I lose it. I think you were 7th. 8th. You're 8th right now with that much left to go. Laith, it could hold up. You never know.
I don't think so. It's not going to hold, but couldn't get that 5th bite today, just struggled, but hey, had a good time coming back out in about a month for the U.S. Open and look forward to it.
You were our Lake Havasu champion this year.
No, Lake Mojave.
It was Mojave. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, but want to say hi to my wife for coming out. Thank her. Love you, baby. Then also my uncle. He didn't get to see it yesterday. I guess they were having technical difficulties, but Uncle Jeff, the garage, the whole crew. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you, Laith. We appreciate you fishing with us. We want to see you at all of them next year. Coming up next, Laith, the co-angler fishing with Laith Moore out of boat 38. He's a Delta Rat, Mr. Dominic Mohammeds.
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. How you doing, Dominic? 266 yesterday. Looks like you had a better day today. 493. Good tournament?
Oh, I had a great time out here. I want to say thank you to you guys, Wild West, for just putting on a great event, great series. I'll be here all year next year. So.
We appreciate that, Dominic. We look forward to seeing you then. Thank you, buddy. Coming up next, professional angler had a great day 1 with 950. He's coming in. He comes out of the Delta in California. He fishes with us everywhere we go. He's a Ranger Boat, Lucas Oil, professional angler, Mr. Ken Ma. Ken? Little lighter, 593 today. That's not the day 2 you were looking for, I'm assuming.
No, it's not. But you know what? I tell you, we come up here and we support our sponsors. We talk about our sponsors. I want to thank the people for coming out. It's a great crowd out here in Henderson. The city of Henderson, I hope they keep pushing harder for Wild West to come back. We're going to Oroville next year. I would much rather come here in a weird, suffering way. I don't know why Mead does that to you, but I am really looking forward to coming back. So it's been a pleasure.
Well, with this many guys left, you're sitting in 8th place right now, Ken, so you still got it. They're saying there's a chance.
If we close the scales right now,
then you're in for sure.
Let's go.
Thank you, Ken. We appreciate you fishing with us. Coming up next, he was in 2nd place coming into this event for Angler of the Year. He is not going to be Angler of the Year, but he was also, I think, 2nd place in this event today, right? Yeah. 2nd place, only 11/100ths behind our leader. He had 13:39 yesterday and 7:37 today. That is Randy Pearson. 7:37. Randy is going to have you in 3rd place right now.
Oh, I'm pretty excited with that. At 1:30, I had 3 fish, and I was way up.
And we knew you had 3 fish early in the day too.
Yeah, I had 3. Once the camera boat got with me, I caught 3 pretty quick. He left, so did the fish, and kind of stayed that way until 1:30. I caught fish number 4 and 5, so I got fortunate.
Well, in 3rd place this early in the game, pretty sure you're fishing tomorrow, Randy. How's that feel?
Oh, it feels good. And before I get off of here, I got to say hi to my wife, Jan. Jacob, Megan, and Jason, and my brother, and my parents for coming, and all my sponsors, Dobbin Rods, Outdoor Sportsman, Keeper Worms, and Ranger Boats.
Did you make the last day last year, Randy?
No, I didn't. I think I was a few spots out of the money.
But you've made the last day most of this season, I believe.
Yeah.
Good year for you, Randy. You're going to be probably second in Angler of the Year, but you got a shot at winning this thing still. So we will see you tomorrow, my friend. Thank you. Coming up next, out of boat 30, Jesse Parks coming to the scales. Yesterday, Jesse brought in 514. He did not quite match that today. Jesse's catch is going to go 137. Tough event, Jesse. Did you enjoy fishing with us this year?
Oh, yeah, it was super fun. I mean, all the tournaments that I fished. I mean, I did remotely well for most of the year, but last two I kind of struggled.
You looking forward to fishing with us next year?
Yeah, I plan on it. California's going to be a long drive, but we'll see.
Excellent. We appreciate you doing that. Thanks, Jesse. Just remember, folks, free boat wash in parking lot C from the Nevada Fish and Game folks. We thank them very much for that. They want to send you out of here clean and dry. Coming to the scales next out of Oregon, a professional angler who weighed in 707 yesterday, and that is Mr. Jigs Ben. Jigs Ben from Oregon, and we're going to have a big fish to weigh, I think. Jigs Ben had 707 yesterday. He bettered that today. Jigs, you've got an 892 today. An 892, that's a pretty darn good tournament at this point, Jigs. That's got you in 8th place right now. You just bumped Ken Ma out, and you're in 8th place going in now, Jigs. We'll weigh this fish as a big fish. Nice largemouth. 297 for that big fish for Jigs Ben. Jigs, great event. Great event. You're sitting in 8th right now. We got a few more guys to weigh. You could be coming back and fishing tomorrow.
Well, that would be nice, but I don't think so.
You'd rather get on that long drive to Oregon? Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't say that. There's a couple of bags behind me. So.
Oh, that's a little taste teaser. We like that. Jigs, we appreciate you fishing with us. We appreciate Ranger Boats supporting you.
Yeah, and I enjoy it. So.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you at the next one, Jigs. Appreciate it. Coming up next, Robert O. out of boat 20. Yesterday, Robert had 196. He is coming to the scales, and he's going to put 165 on the scales today. I know not the tournament you wanted, Robert, but we sure appreciate you being out here with us.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you. No, Robin, not the Robert.
Robin, thank you. Thank you, Robin. Bryant Lee is coming to... Bryant Lee. Bryant Smith. Y'all throwing me off in the front row, dang it. Last year's champion, folks. Bryant Smith, the 2016 champion of this event. He won that $80,000 bass boat. He had 8 pounds on day one. He had a very challenging situation today. He was limited in what he could do, but he still comes in with 632. 632 for you, Bryant.
Yeah, I had some boat issues, but I mean, that's just part of this game. You know, we run real far, we run in rough water, and I'm proud to run what I do because it gets me back almost every time.
And that's a Ranger boat with an Evinrude on it and a Dobbins rods in your hands.
Absolutely, absolutely. Couldn't be supported by any better companies. But I really want to thank, the anglers this time. I was stranded in the Narrows, and actually every boat that went by me stopped by and make sure that I had my fish weighed, and that I could get back. And
then which boat ultimately came out to bring you back?
Oh, that was Jay.
Coming up next, Jason Bradshaw, your roommate at this event, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he came back. He actually pulls up with me and reaches in the bottom of the boat and pulls out a box of pizza. And I was real excited to see that. But
that might make him the best roommate ever.
Oh, it did. It did, for sure. But I want to thank you guys. You guys work so hard out here to put on a really smooth and fun event. You make it fun, and that's what this sport needs right now. And, I want to thank my family and my girlfriend. I know she's watching at home, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bryant. You've been a great champion. We know you'll be a champion again real soon, buddy. We appreciate it. Thanks, Bryant. Coming up next, that hero, the savior, the towboat, the pizza bringer, Mr. Jason Bradshaw out of Sacramento, California. Jason's been in the top 10 just about every tournament we've had this year. You've had a phenomenal season, man. I know that 315 yesterday was not what you wanted, but you've got a great bag today with 1290, which is going to maybe keep you in the running, Jason.
I don't think so. I think I needed maybe 15.
Ooh, yeah, I was off. 12th place now, 12th place. Boy, I bet you are thinking you wish you did something different yesterday, huh? Nice big smallmouth going on the scales, folks. That's a nice one. 307 for his big fish, and that is a smallmouth. Jason, good day.
I can't take all the credit for that pizza. My wife picked it up and brought it here, so.
She is in the crowd at every event we hold. Thank you so much for coming out. She goes everywhere.
She does. She's my, yeah.
She's your wife. Now, don't thank your girlfriend for coming out, too, because somebody did that yesterday.
I'll get choked up. She knows it.
Why don't you tell me from the bottom of your heart what she means to you, Jason?
You guys are bad.
Oh, she's cool. She's cool.
Well, we got married last September 17th, and I cried like you wouldn't believe. Her parents, we got married on, out on her parents' lawn, and they probably still don't have to water that lawn.
I want you to visualize that day for us. No.
Well, if I can ever figure out how to catch a good bag of fish on day one, I might have a shot at winning.
You've had a great season, dude.
My day twos have been awesome. Yeah. It's the day ones I got to work on.
And you were a hero today, so we really appreciate it, Jason. Thank you for fishing with us. Thank Costa. Thank Dobbins Rods. Thank you, man. Coming up next, Boat 4, Bill Kuntz coming up. Bill Kuntz out of Boat 4. Yesterday, Bill didn't have the kind of day he wanted. He's got a better day today. We can see that. He's bringing in 681 to the scale, 681. Better day 2, huh?
Better day 2. But I want to say thank you to you guys. Appreciate everything you guys do. It's really been a great past 2 years. Can't wait till next year. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill, and we thank Dobbins Rods for helping you out. Coming up next out of Boat 4, Robert Cozine comes to the scales. Robert Cozine, we saw his rooting club here earlier. There she is. Robert Cozine's fan club is in the house. 402 yesterday for Robert. Comes in today very consistent, my friend. A little bit of an upward trend. 406 for you today, Robert. Good season for you? Oh, has he got a big one to weigh?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's weigh that big one.
All right, let's weigh.
Let's weigh that big one. Gary, I think that was a sign. When Gary opens the bag and looks at me, we got a largemouth to weigh. 276 for that largemouth. 276. We got him. He's rescued. Thank you, Robert. We appreciate it. Do you wanna say anything, or are you good?
Hi, Dixie. That's it.
Hi, Dixie. Thanks, Robert. John Zuella coming up next. John comes to the scales after having weighed in 576 yesterday. He had a better day 2. John, you're going to come in with 758 today. 758 today. Better day 2. Probably not what you wanted overall.
No, bass fishing, it hurts my brain sometimes, but I love it.
You've had a pretty good year too with us, haven't you?
Yeah, I had a pretty good year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good to have you with us, man. We appreciate that.
Thanks for having us. It's a great tournament. Coming out next year. Thank you.
Thank you, John. We'll see you next year. We'll see you at Berryessa, too, for the championship, right? Team championship. Coming up next, co-angler who was in the top 5 coming into the day, Jacob Scholl out of Boat 31. Jacob Scholl had 343 yesterday. I know that's not the day 1 you wanted. In the Angler of the Year standings, you were up there, though. You're still alive. Better day 2, Jacob. 826 for Jacob Scholl. 826. Good rebound.
Yeah, it was a good day. I don't remember. John put me on some fish, so I was able to catch them. We were always in area. He'd catch one, I'd catch one, he'd catch one, we catch one together. It was a good day, so I'm hoping it holds up to keep me in the top 10 tomorrow. I want to thank Wild West, my family, and Dobbins Rods, and Phoenix Baits.
Thank you, Jacob. We appreciate it. We'll see you later. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Coming up next, he is your Ranger Boat rep. He is a sponsor of this tournament, and he fishes it, and he told us in no uncertain terms he thought he was going to win this event coming in. He had 775 yesterday. Day 2 has not been as kind to Mr. Keith Tripp. Was it 280 for Keith Tripp on day 2? Tougher day 2, huh?
It was tough for me, I can tell you that. I'm a wise old fisherman, and I'm going to put more emphasis on old. Owns a rod company. I won't say his name, Dobbins. Told me you can never have enough areas to fish in this lake, and he was right. I just ran out of stuff really today because there was a lot of boats moving around the same areas, and just one of those deals, I guess.
We can't thank Ranger Boats enough and all that you do for us, Keith, and the way you stepped up for our co-anglers tomorrow. We appreciate you very much.
Well, I appreciate everybody with Wild West, obviously. I mean, this is a great circuit. Gary, Matt, Angie, Jeremy, yourself. What a great crew. Everybody that works hard. Jamie Bryant. Yeah, that's you. And, you know, I sell swing sets, so we got to have playgrounds. This is one of the greatest playgrounds in the country, but for sure the best in the West, and look forward to a lot of great things next year.
Thank you, Keith. We're going to see you at the championship at Lake Berryessa. We're probably going to see you tomorrow helping us out in some way, right?
I'll be here tomorrow. I'll help. I'll either run a co-angler boat, run a camera boat, do whatever I need to do. Always happy to help. Be part of the deal. You'll see me at Berryessa, and hopefully I can do a little better job there.
Well, Wild West Bass looks forward to 2018 with all of our sponsors, Evinrude, and, of course, Ranger Boats, too. Thank you, Keith.
Yeah, let me take a minute. I want to thank Ranger Boats, obviously. Evinrude Outboards, Dobbins. Without Dobbins rods, you know, I don't know what would be out here in the West. But Lucas Oil and other sponsors, Sims, probably going to miss somebody. Daiwa. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Keith. Much appreciated. Coming up next, boat number 24, Super Clean Pro, Evinrude Pro, Ranger Boat Pro, Jibby Savoini. They've told me I'm not allowed to hand it to you this time. I'm not allowed to do that.
You can drop the pro from all of that after this event. I'm not going to talk.
Call it off. Sorry. 6:36 after a 4:26 yesterday.
26:36. Hey, I'd like to thank Wild West Bass Trail. These guys are doing a great job. And following Keith Tripp, who just talked for 20 minutes, I'm going to get out of here. So, yeah.
That's the first time that's ever happened. Thank you, Jibby. Appreciate it. Coming up next, the man with the best deep, bassy pipes in all of bass fishing, Mr. Kevin Finley, who had 822 yesterday. Very solid day one. He's backing it up with another solid bag today. 822 backed up with 826. Very consistent, my friend. Good tournament for you.
Yeah, yesterday I struggled to put a limit together, but today we caught a lot of fish today. Those fish, because of the cool weather, they moved up on the flats, so there was a lot of fish. We had a great day. It was super fun.
I just lose track of everything with that bassy voice, man. I love that. It's so good. That puts you in 8th place, by the way. Your two-day total has you into 8th place so far.
Well, I mean, I doubt that's going to hang on, but we'll see.
Thanks, Kevin. We appreciate you fishing with us. We'll see you at the next one.
Hey, thanks to you guys. Great job. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Kevin. Coming up next, he was in our top 10 coming into the day on the pro side. Out of boat number 25, Mr. Garrett Howard. How was the day, Garrett?
It was brutal. I had fun, but I couldn't find that 5th bite, but I have one good one.
Still solid, man. You had 1090 yesterday, 806 today. That's going to have you right back in our top 10, obviously, and we got a big fish to weigh. Let's weigh him up. Garrett Howard, that puts you at a 2-day total of 1896 into 6th place. 6th place so far, Garrett. I think I feel pretty good about your chances. How about you? 271 for that fish. 271 for the big fish. Sitting in 6th, you got that much left to go. I think you might be safe.
We'll see. We got some bags coming up for sure. But real quick, I want to say thanks to Anglers Marine, Ranger Boats, Mercury, California Reservoir Lures, and Cool Baits. Without support, you can't come out here and do this kind of stuff. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you tomorrow, I think. Coming up next, a co-angler, a very solid fisherman. We like to watch him fish. Mr. Christian Ostrander. He had 305 yesterday. His bag of fish today is going to go 428. 428, Christian. Thank you for fishing with us. Anybody you want to thank?
No, not really, but anybody looking to come out here and fish as an AM, you learn so much out here. I've got incredible boaters. I fished 4 of the tournaments. Every draw I got, I learned so much, and they'd help me out as well. Any baits that they were catching them on, they would help me out.
Thank you, Christian. We appreciate that. We'll see you next season. All right. Jason England coming to the scales next. Jason coming to the scales at a boat 21. Looking to have a better day 2. Day 1 wasn't kind to Jason. Day 2 much better. 541. 541, Jason.
All right. Yeah, that was a lot better than yesterday.
Appreciate you fishing with us, sir. We'll see you next time. Darius Arbery coming up next out of boat 29. Darius Arbery. Weighed in 268 yesterday, 268. Tough day 1. Looks like it wasn't a whole lot better today, Darius. Tough day 2. 249 today, 249. Thank you for fishing with us this season. We, of course, thank Ranger Boats.
See you next year, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Darius. Appreciate that. Bye-bye. Coming up next, Travis Jewell comes to the scales. Travis Jewell coming up next. And a reminder to all you anglers who want a free boat wash, Parking Lot C, Department of Fish and Game here in Nevada, is going to be doing free boat washes to send you home clean and dry if you're interested. Travis Jewell comes up. He had 332 yesterday. He backs it up with 587 today. A much better day, too, huh, Travis?
Yeah, it was a better day. I had a great boater. We had a good time out there on the water. Just couldn't get that fifth fish. So, unfortunate, but thanks to my wife and daughters, Jackie, Molly, Macy, I love you so much.
Thank you, Travis. We'll see you next season. Vince Hurtado, pro angler out of Northern California, coming to the scales. He had 840 yesterday, a very solid day. His bag of fish today is going to go a little bit less, Vince. 752, 752. I don't think that's going to have you in the top 10, Vince.
No, I lost 2 this morning, and I knew it was going to be crucial. I love coming to Mead. I haven't been here in 17 years.
Man, it was 11th. It was 11th.
I literally haven't been here in 17 years, and to come back, I realized just how important it is. You gotta literally put them all in the boat. So I just want to thank you, Wild West Bass Trail, and everyone here for showing up. We're really excited about this coming year.
Another Ranger Boat P-Line Pro, man. We appreciate it. Thank you, Vince. We'll see you next season. We'll see you at the team championship at Lake Berryessa. A local angler here who caught him yesterday. He was in the top 10. He had 1097 yesterday. Mr. Anthony Salazar. Woo! Anthony was fishing away from the rest of our top 10 and doing something a little different, frankly, than the rest of the group. So he backed up day 1 with a 585 on day 2. A little tougher day 2, Anthony.
Yeah, it was very tough today. I ran around, just couldn't figure it out. I just didn't know what to do. It's all right.
Well, that's the rest of the field, and you're sitting in 8th now.
I doubt it. Once he weighs, he's going to knock me out. And
Oh, we got big fish coming, huh?
not big fish, but bigger fish.
Bigger fish.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I hold on. If I do, great. If not, that's all right, too. I had a blast. I'd like to thank my family for coming out, all my supporters. Couldn't do it without them.
He wins the fan club award at this event. Y'all win. They love you, Anthony. They love you. That one might have even married you, for all I can tell.
That's my brother's wife.
In some states, that's legal.
She wishes she could marry me.
Whoa! We just broke new ground on the Wild West Bass Trail. Awesome. See you next season, Anthony. He's got sister wives and all. We love it. Coming up next at a boat 27, he had a great 10-13 yesterday. He was leading on the co-angler side. Mr. Seth Myers. Seth's bag today, very solid on that co-side. 749 after his 10-13 yesterday, Seth, when they flashed that. You are back in first place with 1737, our leader on the co-angler side. We got a big one to weigh. Let's do it. Seth Myers right back atop the co-angler leaderboard. Bringing the pain. Late night talk and bass fishing, both for Seth Myers. 309. Nice job, Seth. What a great tournament you're having. And look at that beautiful jersey.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. I'd like to thank my mom and my dad. I'd also like to thank all the pro anglers throughout the year that have helped get me here. I'd like to thank especially the the pro anglers at this tournament, Vince Hurtado and Anthony Salazar. I'd also like to thank my friend Jason Cordiali, who introduced me to the sport and brought me on the tournament trail this year. And I'd like to thank everybody, including Mr. Dobbins, for putting on this great tournament.
Well, you're going to be fishing tomorrow and have a chance to bring home that Ranger Evan Root package, Seth. We will see you then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Coming up next out of boat 39, he was in our top 10 coming into the day. He had 11 pounds even yesterday, Mr. Jay Wright. Good. How you doing, Jay?
Oh, I think I'm going to come up a little short here.
Well, you had 11 yesterday. It's a very respectable 761 today. 761 after 11 yesterday, Jay. That has you into 7th place with that many people left to go.
Oh, I think I'm going to finish 12th.
Wow. Well, there you go. That's very specific. You've done a lot of math over there with your calculator.
If I don't finish 12th, I think I'll finish 13th.
All right, Jay. All right. Anybody you want to thank for your season and your weekend?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Anglers Marine and Pure Fishing. Wow, I'm drawing a blank here. Phoenix Rods, Mercury Marine, Ranger Boats, and Costa Sunglasses, and all my friends and family. And I'd like to thank Wild West for running a great trail. You guys do a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Well, we'll have to see if we see you tomorrow. It could be close. Much appreciated. Coming up next out of Boat 34, your fish are cared for. Mr. Dobbins had him. Nicholas Markert, Boat 34. Nicholas had 337 yesterday. He's going to follow that up with 428 today. Tough tournament. I know you wanted more, but you caught some fish. You had some fun, right?
Yeah, I can't complain.
Can't complain. Good season?
Decent. I did good at the Delta, yeah. I mean, I had fun.
Appreciate having you with us, Nicholas. We'll see you next year. Thank you. Coming up next, Mr. Richard Watson out of Boat 14. Richard Watson coming to the scales. Richard had a very good 866 on day one. All right. What do we got today? 4 fish. Those 4 fish are going to go 705. 705 for those 4 fish. I don't think that's going to have you in our top 10, Dick. We got a big one to weigh. Big fish to weigh for Dick Watson. And that puts you into 14th place at this point, Dick. 14th place. I'll let you tell that story. 309 for your big fish. Nice fish. He says he was a victim of his own stupidity today. I'm walking out of that.
I ran from one place to another as we do so quickly, and I throw light line drop shot up on these rocks. In the second cast, I got a fish on over 3 pounds, and it jumps, and I play it back to the boat, and I turn to get the net, and the net had blown out of the boat. I didn't secure the net, and I fought the fish, got it to the side of the boat. I had it in my hand to belly it in the boat, slipped out of my hand, hit the side of the boat, broke the line, and was gone, and that was my 5th fish.
Tough deal, Dick. We appreciate you fishing with us, and we're going to see you next season anyway.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Coming to us out of Paso Robles, California. He was well up our leaderboard on day 1. Boat number 10, Nick Salvucci. Nick Salvucci had 11:35 yesterday. Let's get right. Looks like we... Uh-oh. Gary had a prediction. Gary predicted Robert Lee. No. I think that's big bag of the day on the pro side, folks. 13 with 11 yesterday. That's going to move him all the way up to, I believe, number 1 on our leaderboard once this refreshes. Yep, you are number 1 on the leaderboard, Nick. 24-48. You've got a 2-pound lead over Bill O'Shin at this point. No stress, no pressure, right, Nick?
No, I'm just happy. I figured out how to catch 5 today, so I was one short yesterday. So I'll go out tomorrow and see what I can do.
Nick is one of the chillest guys ever. He's leading at Shasta. He's leading here. He just, nothing phases you, man.
I don't know.
All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow. I'll razz you more then. Thanks, Nick. Nicely done, man. Let's take a moment and visit the Dobbins Dungeon with Angie Morgan and Seth Meyer.
Thanks, Craig. I'm here with Seth, and we were talking a little bit waiting on this interview, and this is Seth's first year ever fishing tournament trails. Is that right?
That is correct. Never fished a tournament or competitive fished in my life.
All right. So how did you get started? Why Wild West?
My friend Jason Cordiali, he's a professional fisherman on this bass trail, and he just asked me one day back in January. He said, "Hey Seth, you want to go on a tournament trail?" And I was like, "Okay, why not?" And I did pretty good the first tournament. I took 3rd at Lake Shasta, and it just I got the bug. It was like a headache. I couldn't think of anything else but seeing everybody at Wild West and getting out on the water.
And you've had a great first year. You've been a great supporter of Wild West, and you're doing pretty darn good for your first year fishing. Looks like you're going to be fishing tomorrow for Championship Sunday.
I look forward to it. I'm really excited. I feel like it's going to be some sort of hard to sleep, even though I'm extremely exhausted right now. But I'm very excited.
And I know Jason's out there rooting for you because I was talking to him earlier over there in the tanks. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll see you in the morning.
Thank you very much, Angie. Thanks, everybody.
Back to you, Craig.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you. All right, leading this event on the pro side right now with 24.48 is Nick Salvucci. 10th place on the pro side, the all-important 10th place cut. With 16.82 is Anthony Salazar. 16.82 for Anthony Salazar. So you know your mark, guys. Coming to the scales next out of boat number 10, Robert Zumwalt. Robert Zumwalt coming on up. Now, Robert wants to have a better day than he had on day one. We won't even talk about day one. We'll get right to day two. You had a little bit of a better day. 333, Robert, 333. You couldn't have a prettier jersey.
Thanks. Thanks to Wild West for putting on a great tournament, and couldn't be happier to be here fishing.
We thank you for coming out and fishing with us, Robert. We appreciate it. We'll see you next year.
Yep.
Excellent. See you then. Another angler who was in our top 10 coming into the day, if I remember correctly, he was 10th place, and that is Matt Shura out of boat 22 with 977 yesterday. 9th or 10th? You were in 10th yesterday. 977 yesterday. A very, very solid 910 today. You're going to be well up that leaderboard, Matt. You will be fishing tomorrow. I can almost guarantee it. Once this refreshes, we will tell you exactly where you are. Matt Shura, you're now in 8th. Oh, maybe I was a little premature. I might have been a little early on that.
Yeah, you got me all excited.
Premature evaluation.
You know what? Hey, it's a tough lake. Had a great time catching limits both days. I'm happy. Thanks to my mom and Joanne, everybody on Facebook and internet watching. Thanks to Wild West Bass and my sponsors. Thank you.
Well, we thank you and A&M Graphics, and we hope you do make that top 10, Matt. Best of luck to you. We'll see you tomorrow. Mike Malinow coming up next out of boat 22. Rough day one, Mike. Rough day one. Oh, you got a better day two, I can see already. Definitely a better day two. You doubled your efforts more than, I think. Well, if we go by weight, you quintupled it. Day two's weight is going to go 505. 505. Do you have a good event with us? Absolutely, man. We're going to weigh you a big fish. Heck yeah. On the coast side, big fish today is only 3 pounds. So, putting that in there. That big fish is going to go 288. 288. But we got to do a 2-day total on that big fish, so it's not totally official yet. Do you have a good tournament with us, Mike?
I had a great tournament. 2 great pros. Learned a lot. Had fun. Probably not going to come back to this lake if I don't have to. But
well, we won't be here next year, so you're safe there.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was a great circuit. First time fishing as a co, so I'll be back on the pro side next year.
Thank you, Mike. We'll see you then. We appreciate you fishing with us. Coming up next, out of the Clovis, California area, if I remember correctly, Mr. Ralph Inciso. Is it Clovis?
Fresno.
Fresno, Clovis. That's same difference. I'm from NorCal. 771 yesterday, way better today. 981 today. Very solid tournament. Very solid tournament.
Oh yeah, man. I worked hard for those 4 there, and I tell you what, if I can figure out these smallmouth, get them in the boat, shoot, I'd be a lot better off. I hooked 2 today, and they jumped behind the boat and just spit my bait out. So I'm happy to bring those 4 in. And what are my total?
Well, they haven't updated my board, but I think that puts you 10th or 11th. We've got a tie in 9th. And then, no, 11th is 16. So you 11th place, Ralph. 11th place.
Well, gallant effort anyways.
We appreciate you coming out and fishing with us, Ralph. We'll see you next. Are we going to see you at the team championship at Lake Berryessa?
No.
Nope, but we'll see you next season. Next season. Thanks, Ralph. We appreciate that. David Valdivia coming to the scales next. David had 717 yesterday. He needs 1731 to take the lead today. Wow, he had a great day. We watched him fish for a bit. That's one of the best weights of the day. 1304 for David Valdivia. 1304 on top of 17 yesterday is a 2-day total of 2021, which is going to have you in 6th place right now, David. 6th place. Nice big largemouth coming to the scales. You are in 6th place at the moment. That big fish is 487. That is the biggest fish of the day so far. Nicely done, David. Great tournament. As I said, you're in 6th place. You feeling safe?
Not really, but it was fun today. I had a good day.
All right, he says he's not feeling safe. Hold on. If you're not feeling safe, then tell us how you caught those fish.
On everything.
Safe answer.
Yeah, that's it.
We got to watch you fish, and it was fun today, and you had a pretty good tournament.
Yeah, it was. I had a horrible day. I made the wrong decision yesterday. Just changed it up today, and we caught them really good. So,
thank you, David. We might see you tomorrow. I think we probably will. If not, you'll see at the check ceremony today. Coming up next out of boat 12, Ryan Chambers comes to the scale. Ryan's looking to improve upon a tough day one, and I can see already you did improve upon that day one. He coming today with 632 to the scale, 632. And he wants to weigh a big one. Let's check out Ryan's big fish on the co-angler side. Nice fish, Ryan. Go ahead and put him in. There we go. This big fish is going to go 271. 271 for Ryan's big fish today. Did you have a good tournament, good season with us, Ryan?
Yeah, it was a great season. I got to fish a lot of water I'd never been on before. You guys really put on a great trail this year. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate all you who fish with us. We'll see you next year. Philip Rosner coming up next. Philip coming to us. He's a Ranger Boat Pro. Philip had a very, very good 965 on day one. We're going to put these fish on the scale and see where he sits on day two. You need 1483 to take the lead, Philip. You're not going to have that, but you have a very, very good day two at 967. 967, Philip. That's going to have you well up our leaderboard when this totals up. 19 plus pounds for you, Philip. 8th place. You are the new 8th place angler.
Perfect. I'll take it. It was tough. I didn't get my limit till 2:02, fifth fish, so it was a fun day, though. Hopefully I make the cut and get to fish tomorrow.
We hope to see you then, Philip. Thank you. Coming up next, Andrew Napoleon out of A&M Graphics. A&M Graphics' very own Andrew Napoleon. He had 583 yesterday. Let's see what he has today, Gary. A little bit less today. 404 today. 404 today. Great sponsor, great events, great angler. Thank you so much, Andrew.
I had a fantastic time. I can tell you that my performance here is no indication of how much fun you have when you're at these tournaments.
Of how well your company wraps boats.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking. I want to thank you. You've done fantastic all year. It's been great to be with you.
Well, you could say that again. Thank you.
Gary, thank you guys for doing what you do. The crowd here is awesome. The circuit is awesome. Everything is good. We're thankful for everything you do. I want to say hello to my beautiful bride at home, all my family, friends, my staff. Thank you for everything you do. This has been a great, great circuit. Fantastic.
Thank you, Andrew. We appreciate it so much. We will see you next season, my friend. Coming up next, after weighing in a great 925 yesterday, Tom Leadham comes to the scale. 925 yesterday, and he's following up with another nice-looking bag today. This bag's going to go, oh, yeah, another good day, Tom. 1004. 1004 after 925, you're going to have 1929. Even I can do that math, Tom. 1929 puts you into 9th place. 9th place at the moment.
I'll be first out, I bet, but that's okay. I had a great time. I want to shout out Marco Finelli. He let me borrow his brand new Phoenix 920 Frank Toyota wrapped boat. Had like 3 hours on it, basically not even through the break-in, and I was out here trashing that boat all week. So thanks, Marco, for letting me trash your boat.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you fishing with us, Tom. We'll see you next season if we don't see you tomorrow. Coming up next, the co-angler out of Reno, Nevada, your very own state. He had 541 yesterday. Coming to the scales is Dante Ray. Dante Ray, we're going to see what he's got today, Gary. After 541 yesterday, Dante's bringing in 566 today. I know you want more than that, Dante, but you had a great season with us, didn't you?
I had a really good season. This is my first Pro-Am, full Pro-Am with Wild West, and I was really impressed with how everything was ran, the competition that actually showed up, and just the fisheries that were selected that we got to fish. Made me a better fisherman throughout the year. I want to give special thanks because I would not be able to be here without my amazing support system. My family. Thank you for the sacrifices that you go through with me to make me be here. Also my sponsors, getting everything to me on time, making sure that I got everything I need. iRods Fishing, Frenzy Baits, Pro Point Lures, Elite Custom Body and Paints. Gosh, thank you all. It's been a great season.
Thank you, Dante. We look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you.
See you then. Ron Hammett comes to the scale next. Ron Hammett, after 141 yesterday, Ron comes in with 291 today. Wow. Tough event, Ron.
Tough tournament for me, but thank you very much. Great season.
Thank you. We'll see you next year. Appreciate it. Coming to the scales next, a professional angler who fishes coast to coast with every pro circuit out there. He is Arizona's very own Mr. Roy Hawk, who had a good 922 yesterday. He's going to follow that up with a little bit better 987 today. Not a bad 2-day total at all, Roy.
Yeah, it's going to leave me a little short. I was missing one today, so that was just 4 fish. But had a good time. I want to thank Wild West for putting on a great show, giving us an opportunity here in the West. I want to say hi to my family. My beautiful bride came up, and love her. Glad to have her.
At 1909, you're sitting in 10th place right now, Roy. I'll be 1 out. Thank you, Roy. We appreciate it. He's predicting 1 out of the money. Coming up next, another angler we got to watch fish today. He had 967 yesterday. As a boat 17, Jim Hawks comes to the scales.
Yeah, hi everybody. Didn't get the limit today. Made a couple bad decisions on where to fish, but
512 today on those bad decisions.
Had a great time, and I just want to thank Gary. I see all the work that he puts into this tournament trail, and whoever gets a chance to come out and fish Wild West should definitely do it.
Thank you, Roy. We really appreciate it. You've had a great season with us, and we'll see you next year.
Other Hawk, Jim.
Jim Hawk. Well, you got both Hawks back to back. That'll throw a guy off. Jim Hawks. Sorry about that, Jim. Thank you. Coming up next, co-angler Dink Mendez comes to the scale. Dink Mendez. He had a rough day 1. Looks like a little bit better day 2, right, Dink? Yep. Oh, yeah, a lot better day 2. Heck. Dink comes in with 542 on day 2. What a great follow-up day. You got a big one you want to weigh? Yeah. All right, let's do it, Dink. No dink for Dink. That's a big old dink. Show him your big dink, Dink. There you go. I like it. Big smallmouth. Big smallmouth. Look at that thing. That's a pretty fish. Dink Smalley is going to go 266. 266. Good fish. Good bag. Good season.
Yeah, I had a great time. I had 2 great pros. All we did was laugh and fish and just had a good time, and I have no complaints. I had a chance for a limit today, so I can't complain about that. So
we appreciate you fishing with us, Dink. Thank you so much. We'll see you next year. Coming up next, he was in our top 5 coming into the day. He had 11:22. Austin, bonjour. Austin, a great day 1. We watched you fish today. Gary was bragging about you in the pregame show, how he just wants to fish with you because he likes the way you fish. It was a little tougher for you. You were swinging for the fences, as we know. 634 on day 2. He'll take your fish for you. That's probably going to have you outside of our top 10, bud.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. It's fishing, not catching. Missed a couple key fish today, and that's fishing. So I'm ready for next year. Oh, yeah, so I hook a 2-pounder. I get it coming to the boat. It's probably on GoPro. It'll be on the show, probably. My co's got the net in the water, and I should have just pulled it in the net, but I was like a big dummy. I go to boat flip it, and it comes in one side and goes off the other side, and that's how it goes.
You're sitting in 15th place, so you won't be fishing tomorrow.
No, but it's okay. I get to go see my beautiful girlfriend, which is watching right now. Love you, babe. I'll see you tomorrow.
Excellent. We'll see you next season. Thank you, Austin. Coming up next, and he's got a co-angler with him again today. He had a tough day 1. He's going to follow it up on day 2, and this Mr. Justin Patty, and he's got his co-angler with him again today. Day 1 was a rough day. Day 2, not much better. 175 for you, Justin. Tough day.
Yeah. You know what? Angie actually challenged me to catch another fish for my other son, so I did that today. So I'm grateful for having a fish for the kids. And thanks to Wild West. You guys gave us 2 good years. It's been a blast. And after my performance this year, I'm looking forward to fishing some California lakes next year. So thank you guys for everything you do, and hope to see you in near future here.
Thank you, Justin, and your co-anglers. We'll see you next season. Thank you, man. Remember, free boat washes out there. We don't have a name up. We're not ready for this, Gary. Sorry about that. We got a freeze up on the. Sounds like on the background back here, a glitch freeze. Remember, we got a free boat wash out there for any of you, any anglers, anybody who wants a free boat wash. Nevada Fish and Game. Parking lot C, they want to send you home clean and dry. Coming up next to the scales out of boat 2, Dan Cranston. Dan Cranston out of boat 2. Sorry about that, Mr. Dobbins. Dan's going to weigh in 159 today. 159 today. A little less than you wanted.
Let me just tell you that when I first started this game, Gary told me consistency is important. I wish he would have taught me a different lesson.
Yeah, that's not the kind of consistent you want, but we hope that you're consistent and showing up for us next year.
Next year, yeah.
We'll see you then. Thanks, Dan. Only a few anglers left, folks. A few anglers left. But first, we're going to do an interview. Down in the Dobbins dungeon, we've got Tara Borofsky with Tara Borofka with our very own Angie Morgan.
All right, Tara. So you were sitting in 7th yesterday. You got randomly paired up with who?
My husband.
And he was sitting in 8th yesterday. So you're both top 10 going in today. How was it out there fishing? Did he put you on fish right away to make sure you got a limit, or how did it go?
He absolutely did not. I was straight parallel against a cliff, so it was really hard to catch a fish. I think he had a limit before I caught one, and then about noon I only had 2, and that's when I kind of started to pout, and he's like, you better catch a fish, and I was like, what do you think I'm trying to do? It's kind of hard when anybody who's ever fished with him, any other co, knows he runs and guns, goes to his spot, he's there like for 3 or 4 casts, and I get 2 casts in, and then it's life jacket on, moving to the next spot, moving to the next spot. So it's hard to fish behind him, but at least I could go pee without being scared on the boat, you know? That was easy.
So how did you end up doing? Are you excited to go up there and weigh, see where you're sitting today? You think you're going to make the cut?
I hope so. I caught 4 again today, 5.5 pounds. So I hope it's enough, and he's going to need to find a different boat to fish out of tomorrow.
All right. Well, you're going to wait here in just a few minutes, so good luck, and thank you again.
Thanks.
Back to you, Craig.
Thanks, Angie. Wow. Jason backseated his wife. That's rough. I think it's not going to be a good week for you, especially if she doesn't make that top 10. Ooh, wouldn't want to be you, buddy. Coming up next at boat 11, he's another one of your Ranger reps. He had 785 yesterday, and that is Mr. Ryan Tripp coming up next to the scales. And while we've got a moment, remember, free boat wash, parking lot C by the Nevada Game and Fish Commission. Ryan coming to the scales. He had 785 yesterday, Ryan. You are a Ranger rep for us out here. Look at that beautiful, that's a good-looking Ranger hat. 577 today. We know that's not what you wanted for a 2-day total.
No, it's not. I didn't fish clean today. I lost some fish, and part of the deal, I missed one. And it's a tough lake, beautiful lake. I don't know if I'd come out here for vacation, but it's an awesome fishery.
And you had a good season with us.
I had a decent season. I had a lot of fun. I'm definitely coming back. You guys are awesome. You guys took care of the anglers. It's what we needed out here in the West, big time for sure.
Well, and we appreciate you and Ranger Boats greatly, and we look forward to seeing you next year, buddy. Thanks, Ryan. We'll see you then. Actually, we'll see you at the team championship next month. I know you'll be there. Coming up out of boat 18, he had 531 yesterday on the pro side. Excuse me, Carl Limbrick coming up next. Carl Limbrick. Now, it was not as good of a day for you on day 2, was it, Carl? No, not at all. He had 531 yesterday, 197 today, 197 today. Not the best of tournaments, but a good season, right?
Yeah, for my first time fishing in front of the boat, I had a great time. You guys put on a great show. I thank you guys, and I look forward to doing it next year. I learned a lot this year, so I'm excited.
Thank you, Carl. We'll see you next season.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. Coming up next, the man I would not want to be tonight or the rest of this week after backseating his wife. Out of boat 8, he had 1068 yesterday. He was in our top 10, and that is Jason Borofka coming to the scales. He was in 7th, I believe. Is that right? I'm guessing. 8th. He was in 8th yesterday. I'm going off memory there. Sorry. He needs 1380 to take the lead. He had 1068 yesterday. Oh, wow. You had a good day, Jason. Another good day. 976. 976, Jason. Obviously not in the lead, but when they update my screen, I'll be able to tell you are going to be well up that leaderboard. Borofka. Yep, there it is. 5th place right now with only a handful of anglers left to go. So somebody's fishing tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Gosh, I got a lot to talk about, but I'm gonna make it kind of just short because I could talk tomorrow. It was an experience fishing with my wife, and she thinks I backseat her, but I gave her more room than I've ever given any co ever.
That's not gonna help you.
But no, actually, it's truly a blessing to be out here and be able to travel with my wife and experience this. And Wild West puts on a great show, and yeah, man. I mean, the way things are going with Gary and Lucas Oil. I mean, I honestly I don't even know what to say, but yeah, man, we had a great time. And hey, I don't know when I'm ever gonna be able to kiss my co-angler every time I catch a fish, but
you better never kiss another co-angler ever. Is that the right answer?
So we got some cool stuff on GoPro, and I'm sure you'll see some footage, and hopefully you know, I'm pretty sure she's gonna make it too. And man, I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. You know, this is a lake where the guy at the bottom can win, and we all know that. So anything can happen. What would happen if we both went away with a boat? You know, you never know.
Awesome, Jason. Thank you so much. Lucas Oil, Ranger Boats, Dobbins Rods. We'll see you tomorrow, man. Coming up next, Jason's co-angler and his wife, Tara Borofka, who had 7:09 yesterday. Tara Borofka, she needs 17:39 to take the lead. I don't think that's right. I think that's a typo on my screen. She had 7:09 yesterday. Tara, what do you got? You got it? Let's see. Let's just wait. Let's see it. You got 4. She got 4 fish. Those 4 fish are going to go 6:17, Tara. And when they update my screen, I'll be able to tell you where that puts you. Tara Borofka, 3rd place, Tara. You're going to be fishing tomorrow, my friend. 13:26 for your 2-day total. Very nicely done for the Lucas Oil Ranger Boat Pro co-angler.
Yes, co-angler right here. Woo.
Now, are you going to have an even better pro tomorrow to fish with?
I don't know, but I would be fine being paired with another person. Totally fine.
I think the right answer was there's no way you could have a better pro tomorrow.
I'll be nice. I'm not going to say anything.
Tara, you had a great season with us. Obviously a great event. You're going to be here tomorrow. Anybody you want to thank today? Anything you want to say today?
Well, of course, everybody that puts on, you know, the tournament circuit. It's great to be out here, and you guys put on a good show. And, of course, all my sponsors. I don't remember them all, so I always just look. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out, my family. So, yeah.
Thank you, Tara. We'll see you tomorrow. Great tournament. Coming up next out of boat number 1, Hobby Nelson. Boat number 1. Hobby weighed in 7:04 yesterday. Fleet, light on his feet, Hobby Nelson. 7:04 yesterday. Following it up with a 377 today. 377 today. Probably wanted a little more this weekend, but how was your season overall, Hobby?
It was good. It was fun. I want to thank all the guys out here. Ryan Tripp, Keith Tripp. I had boat problems yesterday, and they were hands down out there all the way out at the houseboats to help me out. I appreciate it. Get me back out there and fishing, so I appreciate it. I want to tell my wife I love her, family. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Hobby. We'll see you next season. I know we will. Coming up next, he was leading the Angler of the Year points coming into this event. He is out of Northern California. He is the Professor Roy Desmangles. Yesterday, Roy, 8:36 had you well up our leaderboard. Today, you're going to have 3? No, we got really healthy fish, Roy. It must be Ranger Live Wells I'm seeing going on here. 347 for Roy, 347. Let's weigh a big one for Roy. Let's weigh a. Oh, that was the big fish. That was it. There was only one in there. Nobody told me that. Roy, that puts you into 5th place. Means you will be fishing tomorrow. Nice fish, Roy. Nice fish, Roy. You're gonna be fishing tomorrow, dude. How's that feel?
I'm loving that. I mean, this is a great circuit. If anybody's listening out there that's thinking about getting into a tournament trail, this is our tournament trail out west. There's some other ones out there that are pretty doggone good, but this is homegrown, you know, American made, brand AA. You want to get into this, I mean, you can think about it and maybe watch millionaires play ball on the weekend, or you can come out here and try to win your own million.
I don't think it's official yet for Angler of the Year on the coast side. We'll confirm that shortly, but I think you're sitting pretty darn solid, my friend.
I tell you what, Angler of the Year title, that's the one that I enjoy the most. I've had my fair share of luck over the years, but when you get an Angler of the Year trophy, that's what it's all about. So I was really looking forward to doing well this year. I didn't do so hot last year, but did pretty good this year. I'd love to win the Angler of the Year title, and hopefully tomorrow works out pretty good.
Yeah, well, we'll see you tomorrow, Roy. Thank you so much. See you then. Coming up next out of Boat 9, Doug Slayton out of Boat 9. Coming to the scales. Doug had a rough day 1. He's looking to improve upon that. It's going to be a similar looking day 2, huh, Doug? Kind of a deja vu day. A little bit better. 191 for that fish today, Doug. Rough tournament, huh?
It was. I don't have any experience here. It was a great experience. I'll give it that. A lot of hard work. Everybody knows that who's out here fishing. Hello to all the friends and family at home, and thank you guys. I came into this in 15th place for Angler of the Year this year, so I had a great year. Shasta was kind to me and treated me, took care, helped along the way.
Great season.
Yes, my best one so far. Look forward to next year.
Great season. We'll see you then. Thanks, Doug. Did we save the best for last? The last two. Okay. The last two coming up. The happiest, smilingest man in bass fishing. He had 297 yesterday, and he still smiled ear to ear. He don't care. It's all good. Out of San Jose, California, Coyote Bait and Tackle's very own Alex Tran.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Alex Tran came in with 395 today. Not the tournament you wanted, but you had a heck of a season too, Alex.
I did. It was a great time fishing with you guys. I want to thank everybody over here at Wild West. You guys did a great job. I cannot wait until next year to fish with you guys. And just sometimes it's fishing. You guys can't get all of them to the boat, you know?
No, we can't. You had a great year. We're going to see you next year, Alex.
Thank you guys. You guys are doing good.
Thank you. Thank you. And then there was one, folks, our last angler to weigh in for this event. Mr. Chris Van Cleef comes to the scales. Chris had 677 yesterday out of boat 15. He's weighing in 147 today. Tough day 2. Good season, though, right?
I had an awesome season. I was pro a long time ago, got out of it, came back this year to fish as an AM. Start to figure out what I need to do to be competitive again. I fish with amazing guys. My friends out there, I've got a bunch of friends that are going to be joining you guys next year because they saw what I did and they thought, I gained a lot of knowledge and information, and that's why I did this. So I had a great time. It's like super tough for me, but that's how we learn.
Thank you, Chris. We will see you next year. Thanks for all the advertising you do. Guys, we are the Wild West Bass Trail. You have just witnessed our weigh-in. We're going to come right back after a quick message and go through our top 10 anglers. We'll be right back in just a moment.
The future of boating is here. Now, get all the thrilling performance of an Evinrude E-Tech G2 in the new 150, 175, and 200 horsepower.
Bass fishing's fun, but half of these tournaments is like a boat race, trying to beat everybody down the lake. And with that Evinrude E-Tech G2, it's like driving a Corvette. That thing is passing everybody.
All the best-in-class torque of the Evinrude E-Tech G2 is now available from 150 to 300 horsepower.
This is a whole nother level. The G2 is awesome.
To learn more, visit evinrude.com.
Ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
The future of boating is here. Now, get all the thrilling performance of an Evinrude E-Tech G2 in the new 150, 175, and 200 horsepower.
Bass fishing's fun, but half of these tournaments is like a boat race, trying to beat everybody down the lake. And with that Evinrude E-Tech G2, it's like driving a Corvette. That thing is passing everybody.
All the best-in-class torque of the Evinrude E-Tech G2 is now available from 150 to 300 horsepower.
This is a whole nother level. The G2 is awesome.
To learn more, visit evinrude.com.
years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
The future of boating is here. Now, get all the thrilling performance of an Evinrude E-Tech G2 in the new 150, 175, and 200 horsepower.
Bass fishing's fun, but half of these tournaments is like a boat race, trying to beat everybody down the lake. And with that Evinrude E-Tech G2, it's like driving a Corvette. That thing is passing everybody.
All the best-in-class torque of the Evinrude E-Tech G2 is now available from 150 to 300 horsepower.
This is a whole other level. The G2 is awesome.
To learn more, visit evinrude.com.
Bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Western Classic, the 2017 Wild West Bass Trail Pro-Am Championship, Cawville Marina, Lake Mead. It's been a great event. We've had a fantastic time. We've seen a lot of both big, large, and smallmouth at this event. And right now, what we're going to do is call out and introduce to you our top 10 co-anglers, followed by our top 10 pro-anglers. These are the only 20 anglers who will be fishing tomorrow on Championship Sunday. We will be awarding a boat and motor prize package, Ranger Boat, Evinrude Motor prize package to both our pro and our co-anglers tomorrow. And without further ado, let's see our co-anglers. Starting in 10th place, Mr. Brandon Smith. Come on up here, Brandon. Over here. Nicely done, Brandon. Come stand right over here, sir. Perfect. Thank you so much. Coming in 9th place, Robert Nicholson. Congratulations, Robert. Come on, stand right next to him. Perfect. That's fine, because we're just doing 5 up here. Coming in 8th place, Dante Ray. Out of Reno, Nevada, Dante Ray. Come stand right next to Robert, Dante. Coming in 7th place, Robert Morris. Coming on up here. Fishing tomorrow, Robert Morris, the Costa Man. In 6th place, coming to us out of Arizona, Jacob Scholl. Come on up here, Jacob. You can stand right here. Perfect, Jacob. All right. Coming in 5th place, Roy Desmangles, your leading Angler of the Year contestant. We got to tabulate some numbers to verify you got Angler of the Year, Roy, but you are sitting in 5th place right here, Roy Desmangles. 4th place coming in, Dustin Robinson out of Phoenix, Arizona. Come on up here, Dustin. A&M Graphics sponsored angler. Right next to Roy. Thank you much, sir. Congratulations. Third place, despite being backseated all day by one of the worst pros she could have drawn, her husband, Miss Tara Borofka. Congratulations, Tara. And I'm kidding. She drew a great pro. It's the man she lives with, Jason. Second place coming into today. He looks to win that boat. Joseph Cunningham. Nicely done, Joseph. And a rookie angler who is leading this event to win a boat and motor. He was in the bathroom when we started this process, but he made it back. Mr. Seth Myers. Congratulations, Seth. Folks, this is your top 10 co-anglers. One of these folks is going to be driving home a new Ranger Evinrude tomorrow. Give them a big hand, and now we're going to meet our pros. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, so much. Pro anglers are next. Okay, I need a screen switch, and you're on it. Thanks, gentlemen. 10 pro anglers. One of these pro anglers is also driving home a $50,000 to $80,000 Ranger Evinrude, depending on contingencies. Coming in 10th place, Tom Leadham. Come on up here, Tom. Come on up here with me. Good job, buddy. Good job. Stand right here. In 9th place coming into the day. Great comeback for him today. Philip Rosner. Another Ranger Evinrude pro. Come on up here, Philip. Stand right next to Tom. In 8th place today, Gary's favorite nickname on the circuit, Mr. Marty Lawrence. Congratulations, Marty. Come on, crowd. Let's hear it for these pro anglers. Next up, David Valdivia. Nice. Nice job, David. Nice job. We've got a star-studded field up here already, folks. In 6th place, the last one who will be up here on the stage with me, Mr. Clayton Eastlick. Nicely done, Clayton. Nicely done. Now in 5th place, going to come stand right down here in the front row, Mr. Jason Borofka. We'll call him Tara's husband. In 4th place, another one of these anglers who was right up at the very top of our Angler of the Year standings. He had a great season out of Oakdale, California, Randy Pearson. Good job, Randy. These guys were both in Angler of the Year running, but they did not win Angler of the Year on the pro side, and that's because this guy did. He's 3rd place in this event. He's your Angler of the Year, Ty Ow! Or how do you say it, Ty? Ty? Ow! Ow! We got 2 more, folks. 2 more, folks. He hails from Auburn, California. There might have been another famous fisherman out of Auburn, but this guy is even bigger. Mr. Bill O'Shin. Thanks, Bill. Nicely done, Bill. And leading this event coming into tomorrow, he's got a 2-pound lead on the pack. He is mellow. He is chill. He is from Paso Robles, California. Nick Salvucci. Nicely done, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your top 10 professional anglers. One of these gentlemen will be driving home a Ranger Evinrude boat package tomorrow with Lowrance Electronics, valued at up to $80,000. We will see you right here, Facebook, 1:30 p.m., Wild West Bass Trail Pro-Am Championship, Lucas Oil Western Classic. See you then.
The future of boating is here. Now, get all the thrilling performance of an Evinrude E-Tech G2 in the new 150, 175, and 200 horsepower.
Bass fishing's fun, but half of these tournaments is like a boat race, trying to beat everybody down the lake. And with that Evinrude E-Tech G2, it's like driving a Corvette. That thing is passing everybody.
All the best-in-class torque of the Evinrude E-Tech G2 is now available from 150 to 300 horsepower.
This is a whole other level. The G2 is awesome.
To learn more, visit evinrude.com.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.